It is high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Jon Holder with you on this Football Friday night. We're coming to you live tonight from Quintard Avenue at Anniston Parker Memorial Baptist Church. It is the Dad's Barbecue Top of the River Media Center. We will be with you for the next 3 hours tonight with scores, highlights, all the information you need about high school football coming up throughout the evening tonight. We'll get started right now with our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard, and we got some shockers tonight. Not shocked that number 3 Piedmont won tonight, but this was a battle of undefeateds and a top 10 matchup in class, or I should say a top number 3 team in class 3A in the state of Alabama. How about the Piedmont Bulldogs beating Locust Fork tonight 61-14? This was our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance game of the week. Coach Michael Short taking in that game tonight up at Piedmont, and this was Piedmont all the way, not even really this close, as Piedmont at one time led in this game 41-0, as Piedmont takes a commanding lead now in that Class 3A Region 6 race as Piedmont beats Locust Fork tonight 61-14. Complete highlights and post-game reaction of that game coming from Piedmont tonight. Saw a sneak preview right there. White Plains Wildcats, they're now 3-3, and they won their first region game of the night as White Plains goes on the road to Ken Logan Stadium in Asheville. They beat the Bulldogs tonight 24-20. Last night, the Donahoe Falcons got a big win playing at Farm Links Field in Fayetteville, a region win, the first region win of the year for Donahoe, as Donahoe beats the Fayetteville Wolves last night by a score of 33-14. Back to tonight's action. Number 5 Oxford, they had a tough time. This was a 7-0 lead for Oxford at halftime, 13-0 at the end of the third quarter, but Oxford pours it on in the fourth quarter, and number 5 Oxford sets up a big matchup. Got an open date next week, 2 weeks away from that big showdown with undefeated Clay Chalkville. Oxford tonight beating Pell City by a score of 27-0. A game that I was at tonight. We'll have highlights of this game. Number 3 Cherokee County at home tonight at Bobby Joe Johnson Field and Center. The Warriors have now won 6 straight Cherokee County wins over Anniston, 14-0 tonight. We'll have highlights of that game coming from Center. J.B. Pennington hands Sachs a big loss tonight over in Bluntsville. It was J.B. Pennington 42 and Sachs 14. This game was tied 21-21, and then it was all Westbrook Christian the rest of the way. Big win for Steve Smith and the Warriors tonight in Rainbow City. We will have highlights of this game coming. Westbrook Christian beating Ohatchee tonight 48-27. That is a huge win for the Warriors as far as getting in the playoffs out of Class 3A Region 6. Highlights of that game on the way. Also highlights of this game. This was the upset of the night. Big win for Alexandria. They beat number 8 Hoax Bluff tonight at Louisville Stadium in Alexandria by a score of 28-7. Here's the way it was going. About 7 minutes to go in the ball game. Hoax Bluff was up 27-14. Hoax Bluff missed a crucial extra point, though. That was the big key here. Then Alexandria scores. They close it to 27-21. Then an onside kick. That kicking game again, very good for Alexandria tonight. Alexandria records an onside or gathers an onside kick. They go down, they score the game-winning touchdown with just 24 seconds to play. And Cleet Forrest kicks the extra point, and Alexandria, a monumental win. Not only beating undefeated Hoax Bluff, but also that's a huge win in Class 4A Region 6. Alexandria tonight, 28-27. They win the game over the Hoax Bluff Eagles. Highlights of that game on the way. We'll also have highlights of this game. Congratulations to the Weaver Bearcats. Weaver beating Glencoe tonight to get their first win out at Bill Bryan Stadium in Weaver. It was Weaver 42, Glencoe 20. We've got the Weaver Bearcat cheerleaders. They're going to be live in studio right here on After the Game coming up in just a moment. No doubt they're very happy as Weaver picks up their first win of the year, beating Glencoe 42-20. Highlights of that game on the way. Jacksonville Golden Eagles, they needed a win. They needed a win in region play in 5A Region 6 And they got it tonight on the road at Tiger Stadium in Springville. Jacksonville very much alive still for a playoff berth in Class 5A Region 6 as Jacksonville wins big at Springville tonight, 44-14. Jacksonville Christian homecoming tonight at JCA. JCA in their first ever meeting with Clay County Christian. They win the game over the Eagles 52-12 tonight. Jesse Ganaway, 7 catches, 130 yards in that game. Also Noah Lee, the quarterback, 12 out of 14, 231 yards and 3 touchdowns. JCA goes to 6-2. Pleasant Valley and Cedar Bluff, huge win. Cedar Bluff led this game 19-12 late. But Pleasant Valley scores. Here's they had a 2-point conversion to win the game as Pleasant Valley gets a huge win over Cedar Bluff. They had not met since 1995, 29 years ago, the last time that they had met. And look at that big win for Pleasant Valley as they beat Cedar Bluff 20-19 tonight. Big win out at Pleasant Valley. The Tallahassee Tigers come into Heflin. They beat Cleburne County tonight in a 4A Region 3 matchup. Tallahassee wins that Battle of Tigers tonight over at the Pit in Heflin 35-7. Horseshoe Bend, this is a new score just coming in. Horseshoe Bend with a very impressive win as they beat Ranburne tonight down in New Site. Horseshoe Bend 42, Ranburne 27. Horseshoe Bend improves to 3-3. Ranburne falls to 3-4. Wadley and Woodland, another impressive win for the #1 team in the state in Class 1A, the Wadley Bulldogs. They beat Woodland tonight. Not only a region matchup, but also this was a Randolph County matchup. Big rivals there. #1 Wadley blasting Woodland tonight down at Wadley. 49-14 was the final. Glenwood, this was a battle of undefeateds now in Class 3A Region 4. Number 8 in 3A, Glenwood out of Smith Station. They rout Randolph County tonight 68-40, handing the Tigers their first loss tonight down in Smith Station. Also tonight, Hanley continues to roll. Another win, another region win for the Tigers as they go to Union Springs tonight and they beat the Bullitt County Hornets 38-21 as Hanley moves to 5-2. Central of Clay County continues to roll. They are now 7-0, the number 3 ranked team in the state in Class 5A. Central of Clay County beating Elmore County 29-7, the final score in that game. Valley comes into Legion Stadium in Sylacauga. The Rams beat the Aggies tonight 26-7. Last night, a great game in Class 3A. Beulah outscores BB Comer. That was also at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga by a score of 43-40. Tonight, Winterboro continues to roll. A region win for Winterboro, setting up a big matchup coming in a couple of weeks with Wadley. Winterboro undefeated in region play. They beat Victory Christian tonight down in Winterboro 46-14. Florida School for the Deaf and the Alabama School for the Deaf, they'll play at 1 p.m. Central Time tomorrow afternoon in St. Augustine, Florida. ASD with only 1 loss, trying to hand Florida SD, the Dragons, their first loss of the season. Last night, you'll see complete highlights of this game and post-game reaction. Talladega was down to Munford 14-0, but scored 28 unanswered. And the Tigers win over Munford last night, 28-14. As we said, complete highlights, interviews, post-game reaction. Of course, Talladega are reigning Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. We'll take you to the Talladega Pep Rally yesterday and show you some of that as well. Center Point and Moody. This is a new score just coming in. Moody dominating from beginning to end. They win over Center Point tonight at Center Point 36-12. Number 6 in 5A Moody beating Center Point 36-12. We are still looking for a final on Leeds and St. Clair County. Number 18 in the state in 5A Leeds playing at home at Homer Smiles Field in Leeds tonight against the St. Clair County Saints. Still looking for a final on that game. Bit of an upset tonight at Joan Ford Stadium in Raglan. Raglan's got it rolling. Big win last week against Fayetteville. Tonight at home against Valley Head, and they hand Valley Head their second loss. More importantly for the Tigers, that's their second loss in region play in Class 1A Region 8. Raglan tonight, an impressive win over the Valley Head Tigers 20-7. Pisgah continues to roll. They are 7-0, and they beat Sandrock tonight 40-19, the final. Galesville, an impressive win at Eider. The Hornets fall to 0-6. Galesville now 500 on the season, 3-3. Galesville beats Eider tonight at Eider, 56-0. Spring Garden remains undefeated. The number 5 team in the state in 1A at home tonight, beating Appalachian. I think it may have been a homecoming at the Garden. Spring Garden wins it 46-21 over Appalachian tonight out at Spring Garden. Gaston, a big win on the road, their second win of the year. They go up to Jackson County. They beat the Section Lions 42-28, the final tonight. May Jemison and Southside, this is a new final score just coming in, and Southside has won the game. They go to the city of Huntsville tonight, and they beat the May Jemison Jaguars 27-6. Southside on a roll. They had that double overtime win last week at home against Etowah. Now they've beaten May Jemison, a region win for the Southside Panthers as they win at May Jemison tonight 27-6 to even their record at 3-3. Coosa Christian, number 3 team in the state now in Class 2A, at home tonight against Cleveland, 43-0 the Conquerors as they continue to roll in Class 2A play. Gadsden City also on the road in the city of Huntsville tonight. The number 7 team in 6A, Gadsden City, rolls over Lee of Huntsville, no problem, 55-0 tonight as the Titans remain undefeated in region play in Class 6A Region 8. Etowah, the Blue Devils, pick up their second win of the season tonight. Etowah beats Aniana 42-6 tonight at Jim Glover Field in Attala as Scott Peavy and the Blue Devils are getting things rolling over there in Class 4A Region 6. Cold Springs keeps West End winless tonight. They come into Walnut Grove. They beat the Patriots 21-12. Boaz wins over Sardis tonight at the Lions Den in Sardis 35-14 tonight. Statewide games. This is a new score. Great game. Number 9 Brantley goes into number 10 Georgiana in Class 1A play, and the Bulldogs beat the Panthers tonight by a score of 16-12. Big game in Class 2A. This was a battle of top 10 teams at Vincent. Number 6 Vincent hosting number 4 Tuscaloosa Academy. Tuscaloosa Academy wins the game as they win at Vincent tonight 35-21. St. Michael and Jackson still looking for a final score in this top 6 matchup being played down in Baldwin County at Fairhope tonight. Clay Chalkville and Mountain Brook. I know a lot of Oxford fans looking at this one. They beat Mountain Brook by a point. Clay Chalkville tonight at home, number 2 team in the state in 6A. They beat Mountain Brook by 7 tonight, 21-14, handing Mountain Brook their 3rd loss. Of course, we are 2 weeks away from what looks like it's going to be the Class 6A Region 6 title game at Lamar Field between Clay Chalkville and Oxford. Clay Chalkville does their part tonight, beating Mountain Brook 21-14. Maybe the game in the state tonight, and it lived up to all the billing down in Phoenix City. Number 1, Central Phoenix City, region game tonight in Class 7A Region 2. They lose to number 2 Auburn. Auburn and Keith Etheridge go in and they beat Patrick Nix and Central Phoenix City tonight at Garrett Harrison Stadium in Phoenix City, 38-33. Great ball game tonight in 7A in Phoenix City. Another great 7A game was played last night at the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery. Number 3 Carver of Montgomery and Enterprise, and that was actually reversed. Enterprise beat Carver 17-14. So we'll get that one corrected, but Enterprise did beat Carver 17-14. And tonight in 7A, it was Thompson, number 4 in 7A, beating number 5 Hewitt Trustful. That was by a score of 15-10. That game being played over at Thompson in Alabaster tonight. That's your USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard for high school. And we had a college football game tonight. We're all Jack State here at High School Football Alabama at a rare Friday night game. Jacksonville State playing on the road in Kennesaw, Georgia, in Metro Atlanta tonight. The Conference USA opener for the Gamecocks. Jack State win number 2. The Gamecocks rolling over Kennesaw State tonight, 63-24. The marching Southerners and the Gamecocks will have a happy trip back down I-20 tonight to Calhoun County as the Gamecocks win over Kennesaw State. Back on the set now, let's tell you about Young Oil Grub Mart. They are great sponsors of high school football all across East Alabama. They bring you the muscle team. We're going to show you this week's muscle team a little bit later on, show you those black jerseys that they provide for our muscle team winners. Go check them out. Quality gasoline, everything you need for your tailgates. They have the bags of ice that they're famous for. They've got the Super Saver card, the Marathon Rewards card. They are all over the place in East Alabama, Cherokee County, Etowah, Calhoun, down in Lee County as well. Check out Young Oil Grub Mart. They are bringing you our high school football Alabama muscle team every week here on After the Game. We're going to take a break. We will be back with more of high school football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, in just a moment.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch.
The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
We are Bearcats. Go, fight, win. We are Bearcats. Go, fight, win. We are Bearcats. Go, fight, win.
As promised, that is our Aniston Orthopedics Cheer Squad of the Week. The Weaver Bearcats. Weaver won tonight against Glencoe at home, so they're very happy. The first win of the year for the Weaver Bearcats. And we're not done with those ladies yet. No, we're going to hear more from the Weaver Bearcats Cheer Squad a little bit later on here. Our Aniston Orthopedics Cheer of the Week. School football Alabama after the game on this Football Friday night presented by the the folks at the Calhoun County Commission, joined now by the head coach of the mighty Munford Lions. Coach Michael Easley joined us. Coach, glad to have you with us here on this Football Friday night. Had a chance to watch your, always a pleasure to have you. Saw your game last night down at Talladega. Talladega wins the game 28-14. But Coach, you started off the game 14-0. Great lead for you last night. Kind of take us through the early part of that game, that first half.
Well, you know, come out, we get the opening kickoff return for a touchdown, and that's I don't care who you're playing, what kind of game it is, that's always a big deal. And so, you know, we actually harped on our guys all week long about getting vertical because we felt like we could pop one on them, and you know, Trey hit it vertical, and then just of course outran everybody after that. And so, good start. Defense came out, did their job. We scored, so we felt really good going up, you know, 14-0. And I thought our defense played good the whole game.
Yes,
you know, really 3 quarters, thought our defense played really good. The only downside to that kickoff return is our defense stayed on the field the whole first quarter for the most part. And so that was a, you know, that I think it took a little wind out of us early, and me and our DC was talking about it last night throughout the end of the second quarter and even into the third and even halftime. And our defense was on the field so much in the first quarter, I think it kind of wore us out. We started having to sub a little bit more than we normally would. Some of the starters didn't get to play as many reps because they were just gassed because of the number of reps. So, you know, fast start was great, and then it bit us a little bit, but at the end of the day, we didn't execute like we wanted to in the first half offensively.
Coach, you told me, I think before the game, I got this number right, 6 guys that you have with injuries. Is that right?
We've got several with injuries, yeah. We've had some season enders. We've actually had one of my seniors, A.J. Denson. He actually tore his ACL. He started for us last year. He tore his ACL second week of practice. So he's actually played 5 games on it this year with a torn ACL. And he gave everything he had, but for 5 weeks he just couldn't go anymore. And so, you know, you lose that experience, lose the guy that started every game for us last year, has played since he was a 9th grader. That, you know, that hurt us in some areas on defense. You know, starting quarterback's been out the last couple of weeks. He got banged up at Hanley. Same thing with our starting left tackle. So, you know, coming into the year, we were down 4 starters on the offensive line, and the one returning guy was a guy that's been out the last few weeks. So, you know, a little bit of struggle up front. Guys are playing hard now. We fought. That's one thing we liked. It was never an effort issue last night. It was always execution on offense. It was shooting ourselves in the foot constantly, missing a block here, maybe stepping the wrong way with something, but it was just constant. You know, I told them at halftime, I said, we just keep looking down, finding the foot, and shooting. So, just really, I give Talladega credit. Their kids played hard, but we really shot ourselves in the foot.
Coach, let's talk about, because if Coach Short was here, he's on his way back from the Piedmont game tonight. He should be arriving momentarily. If he was here, you know, he coached over in Georgia for all those years, and he would talk about the sizes of schools and things like that. So we think here in Alabama that a 4A school, Munford being 4A, that's a larger school. It's really not. And so when you have 6 injuries like that, even at a 4A school, Coach, that's a devastating thing, because a lot of those guys, even at the 4A level, you got guys playing both ways.
Well, we do, and we tried to go through the spring and even the fall jamboree, playing as many different guys as possible, because we knew we were going to need guys to come in, maybe not start for us, but give us 15 to 20 reps, you know, on one side of the ball. And so we tried to develop depth throughout spring and the spring jamboree and fall jamboree. Unfortunately, some of that depth also got hurt. And, you know, we've had just some tough luck. Some couple kids had some tough luck with concussions. We've had some leg injuries. And, you know, I hate to see, I hate to see a senior lose their senior season. And like I said, I talk about AJ. He played 5 weeks with a torn ACL, braced it up, went. But we've just had so many guys that we just, you know, we've had so many guys missing and missing practice time too. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize. Sometimes they may be out there on Friday nights, or in our case, Thursday nights, but sometimes they've missed Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, or maybe just rehabbed during practice to try to get back. And, you know, and that affects some things.
One guy that's been real impressive for you, he's one of the top players, I think, in East Alabama, regardless of classifications, that guy they call the Tank, Tank Edmondson. Tank, again, last night had some very big runs.
He did.
He's a guy that is enjoyable to watch.
He is.
And we're going to see some of the highlights of him a little bit later on in the show. But even last night, he had, I think, a 52-yard touchdown run, had a couple big 30-yard runs there. Tell us the talent level this guy's got.
Well, he's very explosive. He's a compact guy, but he's extremely strong. We're talking about a kid that squats over 500 pounds. He weighs 180 pounds and he benches 325, and he's very explosive with the power clean too. He's around 280 on power clean. He's just a very strong, explosive kid. He you know, it's been a little tougher to gain yards this year. You lose all that experience on the offensive line, and you know you're going to have some setbacks somewhere. And I think he's probably had, I would say, around 300 yards of offense this year, called back in penalties. And so, but he's still fighting. He's still playing hard, and he's also a great kid. And that's what we like the most about him is he is a talented player, but he's a great kid to be around. He's a yes or no sir kid. He's got, you know, he knows what he wants to do in college. He's got his head on straight. He's ready to, you know, whatever he wants to go into, he's going to be successful. So he's just a fun kid to be around.
Coach, everybody I talked to from Munford, they say the exact same thing. We talk about Tank Edmondson. They say, first and foremost, before they talk about him being a great football player, they really talk about what a fine young man he is.
He is. And I'll say this. We're talking about a guy that's high GPA, high ACT, never a problem in the classroom. But to me, and we were actually talking to some of the players about this week, to me, his best attribute is he's probably the best blocker on the team. He's our best skilled blocker. He's probably the best blocker on the team, which I know a couple of offensive linemen, they took offense to that. They were, whoa, Coach Hogan, I said, look, best skilled blocker, but Tank does a really good job blocking, and you see that he you know, a lot of the stuff that we do with Katie McCoy when we get him out on the edge, the lead guy's Tank, and so he would probably be one of our best defenders too if we let him play defense. We actually let him play some last night, and he, you know, made a play on the quarterback, which was very hard to do because that, you know, 6 for them, phenomenal player. Just you can't give him a crease.
Chase that guy around all night long. Yeah.
You give him a crease and he's gone. And Tank made a really good play on him on their sidelines to keep him from making a big play. So, like I said, a very, very good football player, but an even better kid. He's a guy that can play at the college level. I wish he was a little bit taller. You know, he can't help that, but he gets the absolute most out of what he has, and just a phenomenal player, a phenomenal kid to be around every day.
All right, Coach, region play. Let's go back. We did this with Coach Lee from Heflin back a few weeks ago because back in December, we were hosting the show here. We had our Ted Floors and Beyond Region Renovation Show, and the official word came down from the High School Athletic Association that day back in December for the next 2 years, reclassification, was that Munford was going to be in a 9-team region, but that 9-team region was going to have a lot of local teams you're familiar with, all local teams. I was excited. Tommy Wood and myself were here talking about how excited we were about that region. And then the news came from the Athletic Association that, well, no, not so fast, as Lee Corso would say. Not so fast. There's some changes. And so you and Talladega and Heflin got put in the South, and now you're in there with, some teams that you know, like Talladega and Heflin, but then a lot of teams you don't know, like your Bullitt County and folks like that. And one of the teams you're playing next week, Booker T. Washington.
Yeah, so, you know, and it was actually the original when it came out was Talladega was in that region, and they were the only one, which all of us were sitting there thinking that's crazy just to put them in there. 24 hours later, I actually got a call about 30 minutes before it came out, just to kind of give me the heads up that we were going south along with Heflin. So we were excited the first day, not that we didn't think there were good teams in it. It was going to be a lot of local rivalries. A lot of the guys, you know, a lot of the teams in that region, our guys know them personally, play baseball against them, play basketball against them. Some play travel ball together, and a lot of local rivalries, a lot of good gates.
Yes.
And that, you know, the economic impact from this region, we're already feeling. You know, we end our fiscal year just a couple days ago, and you know, our money's not where it needs to be right now because of travel. And you know, we've only made really one long trip, and we don't even count Hanley as a long trip anymore. And that's over an hour on a bus. But we went down to Bullitt County in Union Springs, and you know, that was a 2 on the bus, 2 hour and 40-minute trip. Just the amount of, you know, you're paying for subs, you're paying for food on the road. It's just everything's more expensive. So. And next year we will have 3 of those trips, because we'll go to Tuskegee, we'll go to St. James, we'll go to Tallahassee. So next year we're really going to feel the economic impact. But you know, and that's disappointing. I will say this, but I know Coach Short talks about this because he got stuck in the South for 4 years. That's right. We were talking about it last night in the game. One thing that's really affected us is the speed of 4A South. And even teams like Bullitt County, they're a lot better than they were the last few years, but traditionally wasn't very strong, they were very good. They were very fast, and they played Hanley pretty tough tonight. Hanley pulled ahead and beat them. But, you know, between those guys and Tallahassee, who's much improved over last year, Booker T. Washington, who we know they're the ones who put Hanley out last year, just a lot of speed all over the field. You know, our second and third level players are as fast as, you know, most of our running backs and receivers. So just a different, you know, just a different feel. But more than anything, the economic impact from, you know, just not getting great gates because they're so far away and us having to do so much traveling.
Coach, it's an up and down season, and it's still a long way to go. You still got a lot of football left to play. Thank you for coming and being with us here on After the Game, talking some Munford football with us. Always a pleasure to have you with us. Our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser, our guest tonight, the head coach of the Munford Lions. Let's tell you about F&M Bank. A little bit later on, we're going to introduce from 3 different schools our nominees for our Farmers and Merchants Bank Spirit Scholarship. We've got 3 schools tonight. Farmers and Merchants Bank, let me tell you, they have given out in just the last 6 years, and a lot of this $28,000 in money they've given out is through our Spirit Scholarship program in conjunction with High School Football Alabama After the Game. They have also given out over $5,000 in the Spirit card sales. So that's way over $30,000 that they have given back directly to schools right here in East Alabama. They have been doing business and serving Calhoun County for 109 years, and now they're in Cherokee County. They're in Center, Oxford, Anniston, Jacksonville, and in Piedmont. Now, without any further ado, we promised you more of our Anniston Orthopedics Cheer Squad of the Week. Ladies and gentlemen, the victorious Weaver High School cheerleaders on After the Game.
Let's hear it for the best WHS. Let's hear it for the best WHS. Let's hear it for the best WHS.
Your home is a reflection of you.
We understand that. That's why we'll personally help guide you through the process of product selection and installation. We have an extensive selection of designer tile, stone, carpet, laminate, hardwood, cabinets, and outdoor products, all with industry-leading quality.
Let us help you choose the perfect touches for your entire home. We offer free in-home estimates and design consultations.
Visit us today at Ted's Floors and Beyond.
At Jacksonville State University, the journey starts with you. It begins with your ambition, your curiosity, your dreams. Here, you forge your own path. You have the power to make a difference, explore new horizons, and turn your passions into your future. At Jack State, we journey forward together. The journey starts with you.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Back on high school football, Alabama after the game. Jon Holder with you on a Football Friday night presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Coming to you live tonight from our Dad's Barbecue Top of the River Media Center at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Midtown Anniston. I was out at Team Sports today, even at McClellan. Great place, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. They are fantastic sponsors of high school football Alabama after the game, and they do a couple of neat things for us. One, they bring you the highlights, and they also bring you those fantastic, we're going to show you this a little bit later on. I've actually got the jersey here tonight that we're going to show you a little bit later on of our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week. They get this customized jersey courtesy of the folks at Team Sports. Team Sports, they not only have that great sporting goods store, McClellan Sports and Outdoors at McClellan, but they also service 100 schools with all of your sporting goods needs. You can go and see them online at McClellansports.com. That's McClellansports.com. We have all the final scores coming your way right now, so let's go back to our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard and catch you up on every final score in East Alabama. All the big games around the state, and even a college score tonight. Number 3 Piedmont in our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week at the Field of Champions, beating Locust Fork tonight 61-14. Complete highlights, post-game reaction with Coach Michael Short and Cameron Greenwood coming your way from Piedmont a little bit later on tonight on After the Game. Big win tonight for White Plains. They win at Asheville 24-20 tonight. Last night it was the Donahoe Falcons. They get a big win as they go to Farm Links Field in Fayetteville. They beat the Wolves 33-14. Started off slow at Lamar Field in Oxford tonight, but number 5 Oxford, after leading only 7-0 at halftime, they dominate the second half. They beat Pell City tonight 27-0. We will have highlights of this game. My Crew at Bobby Joe Johnson Field in Center tonight. Number 3 in 4A Cherokee County. They led 14-0 at halftime. They made that stand up, beating Anniston 14-0. We'll show you both Cherokee County touchdowns when we have those highlights a little bit later on from Team Sports. Also tonight, Sacs on the road in Bluentsville against J.B. Pennington. It was the Tigers winning that game over the Sacs Wildcats 42-14. Great game tonight in Rainbow City. This game was tied at 21, and then Westbrook dominates the rest of the way as Westbrook Christian gets a huge win, Class 3A Region 6, as they beat Ohatchee 48-27. The upset of the night was in Death Valley. Number 8 and undefeated Hoax Bluff in 4A comes in. They led 27-14 with about 7 minutes to go in the game. Alexandria with a touchdown, an onside kick, a missed extra point by Hoax Bluff, a factor as well. Alexandria wins over Hoax Bluff tonight, 28-27 out at Death Valley on a Football Friday night. Complete highlights of that game coming, as well as the Alexandria, I should say the Ohatchee game. We'll have that coming as well. Let's move on. We talked about the Weaver Bearcats winning tonight over Glencoe, their first win of the year. Weaver cheerleaders excited about that. They beat Glencoe tonight 42-20, the final in that game, and we will have highlights of that game from Bill Bryan Stadium. Jacksonville wins at Springville tonight. Huge win for the Golden Eagles in 5A Region 6 as they go to Tiger Stadium and win the game 44-14 tonight over in St. Clair County. JCA 52-12 tonight. Homecoming in Jacksonville over Clay County Christian. Noah Lee, 230 yards passing. Jesse Ganaway, 130 yards receiving. Just another day at the office for the Thunder as they win over Clay County Christian 52-12. Monumental, huge, come-from-behind win for Pleasant Valley tonight. Cedar Bluff led at 19-12. Pleasant Valley wins it, though, 20-19. Pleasant Valley, look at that. They are 5-2. Looks like the Raiders may be headed for the playoffs. Big win tonight over Cedar Bluff out at the Valley. Tallahassee over Cleburne County over in Heflin tonight, 35-7. Horseshoe Bend, they win over Ranburne 42-27. Number 1 in 1A Wadley, no problem at all, beating county rival Woodland tonight 49-14. Central Randolph County loses tonight on the road at number 8 Glenwood. down in Smith Station. The number 8 team in 3A, man, they have some offense. They beat Randolph County, handing the Tigers their first loss of the year tonight, 68-40. 108 points scored tonight down at Smith Station. Also was Hanley tonight, beating Bullitt County 38-21 in Union Springs. Central of Clay County, winners in Eclectic tonight against the Elmore County Panthers 29-7. Also tonight, Valley comes into Legion Stadium in Sylacauga. They beat the Aggies 26-7. Last night in Sylacauga at Legion Stadium, Beulah comes in. They beat BB Comer 43-40. Winterboro tonight over Victory Christian 46-14. Tomorrow, it will be Alabama School for the Deaf playing tomorrow afternoon in St. Augustine, Florida against the Dragons of Florida School for the Deaf. Last night, we got highlights of this game coming. Talladega beating Munford 28-14. Tonight, Moody rolls over Center Point at Center Point 36-12. This was the last final score, I think, that we did not have. Number 8 in 5A leads tonight at home, beating St. Clair County. High-scoring game. Again, almost 100 points scored in this game. Leads 56, St. Clair County 42 the final. Raglan, I have to call this an upset tonight at Joan Ford Stadium. They beat Valley Head, handing the Tigers only their second loss, 20-7. Pisgah continues to roll. They beat Sandrock tonight up at Rusty Jakeaway Stadium at Sandrock, 40-19. Galesville, an impressive win at Eider tonight, 56-0 as the Trojans go to 3-3. Spring Garden remains undefeated, number 5 team in 1A. They blast a good Appalachian team tonight, 46-21 out at the Garden. Gaston gets a road win at Section, 42-28. Southside on the road in the city of Huntsville against May Jemison. They win over the Jaguars 27-6. Coosa Christian shutting out Cleveland tonight over at Coosa 43-0. Another Gadsden team with a shutout on the road in Huntsville. Number 7 in 6A Gadsden City beating Robert E. Lee of Huntsville. That was by a score of 55-0 tonight. Also, Etowah, the Blue Devils beating Aniana 42-6. West End remains winless. They lose tonight at home in Walnut Grove to Cold Springs 21-12. Boaz beat Sardis at the Lions Den in Sardis. That was by a score of 35-14. Statewide games around the state. Top 10 matchup in 1A. Number 9 Brantley wins at number 10 Georgiana 16-12. Class 2A, the big game tonight at Vincent. Number 4 Tuscaloosa Academy wins at Vincent 35-21. Class 4A tonight, this is a new score. Number 1 Jackson, an impressive win in Fairhope against St. Michael Catholic. Jackson wins that top 10 matchup in Southwest Alabama 55-16. Also, Clay Chalkville 2 weeks away from that matchup with Oxford. Number 2 in Class 6A, they beat number 8 Mountain Brook tonight 21-14. Number 1 versus number 2 in 7A tonight in Phoenix City. Number 2 Auburn comes in and beats number 1 Central Phoenix City 38-33. Last night, there's the corrected final. Number 9 Enterprise, bit of an upset. They come into the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, beat Carver of Montgomery 17-14, handing the Wolverines their first loss of the year. And it was Thompson tonight, another top 10 matchup, a top 5 matchup even in Class 7A tonight. Thompson at home against Hewitt Trussville. And Thompson wins in Alabaster 15-10. And college football on a Friday night, I don't like it, but I like that Jack State won. I don't like college football on Friday night, but TV dictates it. They dictated that Jack State and Kennesaw State needed to play tonight over in Georgia, and Jack State takes care of business. Congratulations to the Gamecocks as Jack State wins over Kennesaw State tonight, 63-24, second win of the game for of the season, I should say, for Coach Rich Rodriguez and the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. A nice trip back down I-20 to Calhoun County for JSU tonight. Let's tell you about the Calhoun County Quarterback Club. They do such great things. Not too late to be involved with the Quarterback Club. They give scholarship money out. They also present our media day that's so phenomenal. And look who's coming to town Monday night at the Anniston Country Club. Dari Noka, I'm going to be watching him a lot tomorrow night with that SEC final on the SEC Network. He's the host of that. He'll be live in Anniston Monday night at the Anniston Country Club as the guest speaker. And if you want to be involved with that, maybe come on Monday night. David Woodard, the guy to call. He's the chairman of things this year, 256-239-4481. It's time for our first Randy Woods, state representative out of District 36, extra point of the night. Beginning the second half of the season, Class 4A Good Hope has the leading scoring defense in the state. Through the first 5 games, the Raiders have allowed only 16 points, averaging giving up only 3 points per contest. The Coleman County School has registered 2 shutouts and have not given up double digits in any game heading into tonight. The most points the Raiders have allowed in a game is 7. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Chad Barnett, and the highlights are going to roll on this Football Friday night presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
McClellan Sports and Outdoors, locally owned and operated since 2008. We offer embroidery, sublimation, and screen printing, and we stock a large selection of team equipment. We have a large showroom with tons of gear and shoes to get you and your family ready for your next activity. Adidas, Under Armour, Maui Gym, Evo Shield, Wilson, and more. We are located in the heart of Calhoun County, here to serve our region with all your athletic needs.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. And speaking of the Calhoun County Commission, great county commissioners, Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson. They support all of our school systems here in Calhoun County. Every one of them, great supporters of our schools, great supporters of a lot of things in this county, our recreational sites, our tourist attractions that we have, which are phenomenal, a great natural beauty. They do so much and pour so much money and resources and funding into those things, and also bringing you things that hopefully enhance your Friday nights, like high school football Alabama's After the Game, thanks to the Calhoun County Commission. All right, Spirit Scholarship time. We've got 3 schools now that we've got nominees for. Remember, we're going to begin the voting on this at 12 midnight tonight on our Facebook page at High School Football Alabama. The voting will be open from midnight tonight to 12 noon next Friday for these 3 schools. All right, we're going for a $1,500 scholarship for a male athlete and a female athlete, voted by you with an automated process as well. And then we got 80 student athletes. 40 of those will receive a $50 gift card courtesy of the folks at Farmers and Merchants Bank, in addition to the $3,000 in scholarship money. So let's begin right now. 3 more schools where the voting will begin tonight, and that is going to begin with we've got Jacksonville, Alexis Phillips, a 95.26 GPA, volleyball and basketball player. Also representing Jacksonville High School, if we can show that one there, having apparently some technical difficulties there. If we can get that. Now we've got Ellie Bonds, a 99.67 GPA, a track and field and cross country star. That's on the female side. Male nominees from Jacksonville: Drake Loggins, a 96.15 GPA, a football, basketball, and baseball player. The other male nominee for Jacksonville High School, Zachariah Lemon, an 88.60 GPA, and he is a football and baseball player. Now our next school is Sandrock. Anna Salazar, a 4.0 GPA. She is a track and field basketball athlete for Sandrock, and she's one of the Wildcats, the school mascot. They have a male and female mascot, Wildcats at Sandrock. She's one of those. That's Anna Salazar. The other female nominee from Sandrock High School is Kaylee Patterson, a softball and volleyball player with a 3.3 GPA. The 2 male athlete nominees from Sandrock, Caden Bullard with a 3.8 GPA, a football and baseball player, and also another nominee for Sandrock is Caleb Yoder with a 4.0 GPA, a track and field and cross country athlete for the Sandrock Wildcats. And our third school tonight, the Weaver Bearcats, our reigning cheerleading squad of the week, courtesy of the folks at Anniston Orthopedics. Here are their 2 female nominees from Weaver: J.D. Hatton Rivera with a 4.19 GPA, a volleyball player for the Bearcats. Also, the other female nominee for Weaver is Lena Johansson, a 4.19 GPA, wrestling, track, and soccer. Fantastic athlete, I can tell you. And then also on the male side of things, we've got 2 more great athletes, great student athletes. Caden Gooden, he's a household name, a 3.49 GPA, football, basketball, and track star for the Bearcats. And also another guy that football fans will know, Keyshawn Allen, a 3.33 GPA, football, basketball, and track. And that voting begins at midnight in a little bit over an hour at High School Football Alabama on our Facebook page. Vote for the student athletes in our Spirit Scholarship Contest with F&M Bank from Sandrock, Jacksonville, and from Weaver. All right, for the first time tonight, we bring you Chad Barnett and Coach Michael Short here on After the Game. Guys, we are going to go back to last night. We had Michael Easley, head coach of the Munford Lions, on with us just a few moments ago. Now we're going to look at highlights of that big game between Munford and Talladega last night.
Yeah, it's a big one, right? Crosstown rivals, they've had a long history with one another. But Talladega broke a 26-game skid last week whenever they beat Asheville. Now they come up and face their crosstown rival Munford, who had beat them 9 out of the last 10 and the last 5 in a row. So how would they fare last night? Let's go to Mary Dumas Stadium. Great way to start off this contest. Opening up, Talladega cheerleaders honoring 5-year cancer survivor Jessica Veazey pregame. She is a survivor, also a speech therapist at Talladega High School, so congratulations to her. Awesome stuff. Fireworks to start the game, and Munford, boy, I tell you, they may not have ended the game the way they wanted to, but they started fresh. Trey Jordan gets the stylish 83-yard kickoff return right out of the gate. Not bad when you can high-five somebody walking into the end zone like that. Not bad. Talladega with the ball, though. I tell you, this Lyles kid, it really showed out last night. This is going to be a 4th and 2 he picks up, and then he's going to go back to the air. This time, that's going to pick up another first down. Those were back-to-back 4th down plays that he picked up. But the drive would stall. They would miss a 31-yard field goal attempt, so it's still 7-0 Lions on top. Munford back with the ball. Tank Edmondson, he's going to take this all the way to the end zone, 52 yards. Boy, I tell you, Munford is rolling to start. Michael Easley in the huddle. Actually, that was a 52-yard run, not a touchdown, but that's coming up. Edmondson, this time a 17 or a pass from Caden McCoy. My Lord, y'all. Been a week off. All right, here we go. Edmondson, that's a 17-yard touchdown run. I promise you, they're in the end zone. 14-0 Lions now. Lions on top. Good Lord. Talladega Lyles now. This time he's going to take the run 14 yards to the right side, keep it himself. And I tell you, we're going to see a lot of number 6 in these highlights. Cordell Curry, 22-yard pass from Lyles. Beautiful catch and throw. And then Gerondez Moten, he's going to take this one 16 yards. And Talladega would bounce back here and get a touchdown right before the half. It's 14-7 at intermission. Let's go down to the third quarter highlights because we were there all game to check out this entire one. Malik Smith, he's going to get a big pick here for Talladega. That's at the Mumford 43-yard line, setting up the Tigers in great position. Cornelius Jemison, now he's going to go to work. He's going to catch this pass for 13 yards from Lyles. Bowls his way down near the red zone. Now Lyles, going to keep it himself. Told you we see a lot of him. Big, strong run, going to call his own number. That's for 14 yards. Now Lyles will go to the right side, in there for 2 yards out. Touchdown, Tigers, 14 apiece as we are knotted up, coming all the way back. Now back on offense for the Tigers. Guess who? Lyles finding his way through the Mumford defense, and they were down 14-0. Now they're up 21-14 at home. The folks at Mary Newman Stadium looking for back-to-back wins here. More defense for the Tigers. A big pick here by Smith. He's going to take this back into Mumford territory. Again, setting him up nicely. And when you get the big plays on defense, what do you do on offense? Well, you just keep it for number 6. Calls his own number one more time, and he is on the loose. Again, this time for 30 yards for Lyles. Gets drug out of bounds. Did not get the horse collar. Close though, Coach. More Talladega offense here. This time, when Lyles is going so good this way, you forget about that back door. Alex Taylor, 21-yard end-around touchdown. 28-14 Talladega. They come back with 28 unanswered. They come back to beat the Lions. 28-14 the final. It was a fantastic night. Like we said, the first time with back-to-back wins since 2019. Snapping all these loss streaks. Coach Short, Mr. Holder, were able to catch up with the coaches and players after the game.
All right, I don't think we have that at this point in time. So,
well, y'all can tell us what they said then. How about that?
I think we're going to have that. We'll have that here in just a moment.
All right, fair enough.
A little miscommunication there. But we did have a chance to speak with Damian Dorsey. Actually spoke with Damian Dorsey twice yesterday because they are reigning Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week for that win over Asheville, breaking that 26-game losing streak. So was down there Thursday afternoon at their pep rally, which was phenomenal. And I asked Coach Dorsey, I said, you're about to turn this thing around, aren't you? And he said, no doubt, no doubt. I think the phrase that they use, Coach, down there is brick by brick, right? Brick by brick.
Building the culture brick by brick, one day at a time. Really, we talked actually today. He said, 1 second, 1 minute, 1 day at a time. And when we first come in there, had to do a lot of changes, and still got a lot of changes to go. Very impressive right there. The last touchdown was after a timeout. They come out of a timeout and run that little counter play, which was a misdirection play. A great call there on the field at that time, in that moment in the ball game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it looked like they were just going so heavy Lyles, like nobody thought about the other side.
It was right after a timeout.
Was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Coach made a really astute observation. He and I were talking about, Talladega has been, and this is not typically a team that has lost a lot. Like Talladega has the last couple of years. You don't normally see that team be a second-half team. Normally when they get down, that's the team that kind of, here we go again.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But Coach made a great observation. He said this season, Talladega has been a second-half team. They brought it back almost all the way against Cleburne County. They were down 14-0 in this game and brought it back all the way.
Well, that's a testament to what he's trying to build. Because there has been a point in time where kids from Talladega may get down on themselves and not finish a game. So now they're learning how to finish a game. I know that he's eventually going to get to the point where, guys, we got a starter, we're going to get too far behind. So that's the next goal, is to get them to start out fast. But, they wasn't in school. It's race weekend, so there was a lot of distractions going on. Team of the week, that's a distraction too. Something extra in a pit rally. So I have to give him all the credit for what he's trying to build down there, and he's got those kids going in the right direction. And I tell you, the sky's the limit for them. And how excited he was on the sidelines. I mean, he truly loves those kids, and he's invested in those kids, and it shows.
How do you do that, though, mentality-wise? You come in, you have grand hopes for this team. They've not won a game in 2 years, and then all the things you've been telling them to do in the offseason, and then they start out 0-5, and then now they bounce back like that. How in the world do you get somebody to believe? Even like the 2 years losing, and then the first 5 games of his tenure.
Well, you got to find something that they did well in the first quarter, and then something that they did well in the second quarter, and then the third and the fourth. Then you start trying to put it together as a whole game.
Gotcha.
And even in practice, they had to start from practice habits. They go out and do stuff around the community. They do stuff around helping people rake their yards, pick up trash, just trying to build a team where they actually will fight for each other. If you're not going to fight for each other, you're not going to be able to win. I don't care what sport you're playing.
Yeah. Well, I guess you got to have players, so it's not just the coach. I mean, you have to have somebody that when they're doing that stuff, and when the coach ain't around, and somebody's saying something negative, one of those players have to be the ones that says, "Hey, no, we're going to do this. We're going to earnestly go after this."
You got to have a dog.
You got to have a leader in the locker room.
You got to have a leader, and if your team's not player led, it's not going to happen. And he's found out who those few guys are, and he's leading them.
Yeah, and we've been talking a lot about Coach Dorsey and a couple of those players. So now we're going to take you to the post game last night on the field at Mary Dumas Stadium in Talladega. All right, Mary Dumas Stadium on a. Uh-oh. Yep. All right, so we lost that one right there.
We're trying.
We're going to get to it.
Mary Dumas Stadium on a Thursday night in Talladega. And we saw a glimpse of it. Here we go. From Munford, 28-14. Coach Michael Short here with me. Coach Damian Dorsey. We've got Malik Smith, wide receiver, defensive back. Also got the quarterback who ran around a lot tonight, Zay Lyles. Let's begin with these guys right here. First, defensively, you had 2 huge interceptions in the second half that thwarted Munford drives. Tell us about your play in the secondary.
Yes, sir. I just listened to my coach. He told me the technique, and I executed.
How big do you think those interceptions were in the second half? Because time of possession was hugely in your favor, and a lot of that was because of your interceptions.
I think they were pretty big. Our coach, every game we lost turnover battle, so he said, win a turnover battle, and that's what we did.
All right, now, Munford was chasing this guy all night long, and he had a lot of big throws and a lot of big runs. I think the big run you had there for the touchdown in the second half, the 52-yard run, tell us about that one.
I just told my team, believe in me. Give me the ball. I got this.
What do you think is your strongest attribute? What's the best thing you think there is about your game?
Running, using my head and running.
All right, congratulations, guys, on the big win. Coach, I'm going to turn it over to you here for just a second, but before I do, I was at the pep rally today out at Talladega, and I asked Coach Dorsey first thing. I said, "You're about to turn this thing around, aren't you?" And you said, "Yes, sir." Tell us about how much this win means to this program. You broke a streak last week. Now you've won 2 in a row.
Yes, sir. All honor to God. We just thankful. The players, I love them. They believe. They're doing what I'm asking them to do. So now it's time to have fun.
Coach, I know offensively everybody's going to look at your quarterback and everything that you did offensively tonight, because the time of possession in the second half was just unbelievably towards your side. But me being an old defensive guy, you got to be proud of how well you tackled it on the outer perimeter, and the secondary and your linebackers did a great job of tackling.
Tank's a tough guy to tackle, man. We've been watching him for years. I was fortunate enough to help train him, and man, I love that kid. But our team fought, and they understood, and it was attack mode.
Well, the thing that you had an opportunity to do, and this is where I'm proud of you here, Coach, is because they had a chance to lay down there when things weren't going their way, and they didn't, and they kept fighting and fighting, and that has a lot to do with the brick-by-brick culture that you're developing here.
Amen. Yes, sir, brick by brick, and we never give up. Never give up. They understand how to go, how to keep fighting, and I'm just blessed to have these young men believe in what I'm telling them.
You know that sometimes just one win can turn things around, and a rivalry win against another team in your county, you never know what that may do for your program.
It's a major win, and you're going to be able to come back years from now and look at these 2 games and understand what a culture will be from these 2 games. We're building here. That's what brick by brick is about. We put one on top of the other. Now it's time for next week.
I appreciate the end of the game, Coach. You're getting to your kids and telling them, let's just knee it out and let's go celebrate.
Yes, sir.
That shows a lot of class, and I appreciate that as a coach.
Yes, sir. No need to embarrass another team.
All right, congratulations, guys, on a great win. As we said earlier, lost 26 in a row. Now the Talladega Tigers have won 2 in a row. Congratulations, Coach Dorsey, guys, on the big win tonight. Talladega 28, Munford 14 here at Mary Dumas Stadium. Yeah, a really great night for football last night. I think that says it all there. And I don't think Talladega's done. They may win a couple more before the season's done.
Well, if they keep playing, they're playing hard. That's the first thing I noticed is they play hard. If you know, there was a couple of plays there where Mumford would break a long run. And in the past, a kid in Talladega would have slowed down and not chased him down. They had some kids actually chase people down and make tackles. That's brick by brick. They're building that culture.
Big win for Talladega last night over the Munford Lions, 28-14. A little bit later on, Coach Short is going to bring us all the highlights and post-game reaction from Piedmont's big win in our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week. Piedmont beating Locust Fort tonight 61-14. And let's tell you about Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance. They protect what matters most. Home, auto, life, and business. Your local choice for insurance and financial services. Ride with the #1 auto insurance company in Alabama, doing business in and for our community since 2020. Located in Heflin on Ross Street downtown, but he covers all of East Alabama. Judd Edwards, State Farm Insurance. A little bit later on, bringing you our high school football Alabama after the game of the week. We'll be back. Tons of highlights and a whole lot more as we roll on this Football Friday night.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated. Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number. You're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
As a social worker, my cousin devotes her career to helping others. But when she was diagnosed with cancer, she was the one who needed help. She needed a hospital with an accredited cancer program and the latest in technology and care options. Plus, a compassionate team of doctors, nurses, and counselors with treatments that fit her schedule. So where did she find all that? Right here at RMC.
Wow, these guys are everywhere.
I'm telling you.
Hey, you remember when we talked about doing some upgrades to the bathrooms and the floors?
I do.
Well, I think it's about time we check in to do it.
I know exactly who to call. They're everywhere.
From your kitchen, bathroom, living room, fireplace, or anything in between, even the golf course, Ted's is everywhere. Call today for your free in-home estimate.
We are only 11 days away, folks, from something monumental happening here in East Alabama. What am I talking about? The 15th day of October, Alabama Teachers Credit Union will become Emblem Credit Union. That's a big deal. That is going to be something, though, that doesn't change with Alabama Teachers Credit Union. It's a new name, but also the same things you've come to expect from Alabama Teachers Credit Union are going to still be in place. Right now, you can still go to atcu.com, and if you live, work, or attend school in Calhoun, Cherokee, DeKalb, Etowah, or Marshall counties, you can be a member. Very, very excited. I know a lot of the folks at ATCU, and they are excited about becoming Emblem Credit Union. We are excited because you see what I've got right here? This is our Muscle Team shirt for 2024, our Young Oil Grub Mart Muscle Team. I promise you, folks, I'm going to find the end of it here and put it up there for you. There's not many of these because this goes to best offensive and defensive line performance. So there's not many of those guys. This is a thing that is coveted, because you just can't get one of these anywhere. There's only a few dozen of these that we hand out every year. That says 2023, but I assure you, the ones we're handing out say 2024. That's the one from last year's. We tossed that one to the side. So who is it this week? Who's our Young Oil Grub Mart Muscle Team? Well, it's the bunch of the guys you're about to see right here. It's the Spring Garden High School defensive line. Coach Short joins me here. Coach, do you think that for a defense in all your days of coaching, do you think in a game where you shut out your opponent, especially your arch rival, on the road in their stadium, and you have 20 plays where you held the team to 0 or negative yards, you think that's pretty good?
That's dominating.
That's dominating. That was the Spring Garden defensive line in their 54-0 shutout win at Cedar Bluff last week. Here are those guys: Tanner Ruark, Gray Simpson, John Welch, Jacob Welch, Chandler Rogers, Bryant Williams, and Colton Driscoll. They're going to get those black Young Oil Grub Mart Muscle Team shirts. We've got those coming on the way to Spring Garden. That is our Muscle Team. So, Coach, you think that's pretty good, their performance last week?
You can't beat that. And the coaching staff better make sure they got some kind of skull stickers to stick on the back of their helmet, too, along with that shirt. Are those two brothers? Or first cousins?
Oh, yes. No, they actually are twin brothers. Don't look like it, but yeah.
They don't, but twin brothers, okay, well, that's be like having two sides of it. Oh, man, that's why they're as good as they are.
An impressive group, and tonight they win again. Spring Garden is 7-0 now, ranked number 5 in the state in Class 1A. All right, let's talk about our Band of the Week. This is our, we talked earlier about our Alabama Teachers Credit Union Band of the Week, and we saw this last night, an impressive performance by the Band of the Week, and this is the Pride of Munford Marching Band performing last night down at Mary Dumas Stadium in Talladega. Let me tell you about our Band of the Week. They are fantastic. Their show this year is called Music of Motion. Amber Conaway is the band director there. They have 40 members, and just last Friday, or I should say last Saturday, they performed and competed at the Mid-South Marching Band Festival in Gadsden at Titan Stadium, and they received overall superior ratings, did the Pride of Munford Marching Band. Later on this season, they are going to perform at halftime at homecoming at Faulkner University down in Montgomery, a part of their halftime festivities. Congratulations to our Alabama Teachers Credit Union Band of the Week, the Pride of Munford High School Marching Band. Coach, we saw them last night. Great show. They played one of my favorite songs. They played a little Journey Separate Ways last night. Opened up the show with that.
They're very loud. I mean, that's the first thing I thought. And I don't know what you mean by motion, what you're talking about, but they do have a lot of movement. I didn't ever get to spend a lot of time watching bands, but I get to now, and they were very impressive.
Well, she explained that to me, and it's like every one of the songs was about motion and direction, like Separate Ways.
Okay.
With, Journey and all that kind of stuff.
But they were always, but they were moving though. All these people were out there moving, and there wasn't nobody dropping anything on the ground. So to me, that's a positive.
Pride of Munford Marching Band.
They did
I think
a great
we're
job.
getting our Alabama Teachers Credit Union, soon to be Emblem, Band of the Week. In a couple of weeks, it will be the Emblem Credit Union Band of the Week. I think right now we're getting ready to go maybe look at a couple of regions now as we got back into region play this week as we had we got our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown coming. For folks that don't know, this is the way that it works. First couple of weeks of the season, non-region. Last week of the season, non-region. In the middle, there's kind of a non-region week. There's exceptions to that because of 19 regions and 17 regions and things like that. But the gist of it is, Coach, that's kind of when you can schedule the games that you want to play. Region games are the games you have to play. And for tonight, for the most part, we were back into region play.
The thing you notice about people's schedules is you see some teams that they're so heavy on the front end of their schedule and they're having to play, a lot of games against tougher people early, and then maybe the back half of their schedule it's not as tough. But we've already got an idea now where people's heading. That pecking order starting to show out. We know who's going to be first or second or third and fourth, but we've got some regions. Those tough regions are still up for grabs.
Yeah, some big changes happened tonight. Let's begin in Class 1A, and let's take a look in our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. Class 1A Region 6. Wadley, big winner again tonight. Winterboro, big winner again tonight. Again, I think it's a foregone conclusion, Coach, that those two will play here in a couple of weeks for the region title. Donahoe making a move. Any of these teams are still alive, but Donahoe, Coach, last night made a big move with that win at Fayetteville.
Yeah, and on a Thursday night. I mean, playing on the road on a Thursday night, and people, they always ask why they play on Thursday. Well, anytime the race is in town, those Talladega County schools have to play on a Thursday night.
So many resources that they have to give to the racetrack that doing high school football games with the things like ambulances and police protection and things like that you need, it's just really hard to do on Friday night with all the high school football games. So Thursdays are always a big night during race week for high school football in Talladega County. Class 1A Region 8 now. Let's go and take a look at that. And Spring Garden, here's the move here, Coach. Raglan tonight beating Valley Head. That was huge. So Raglan beat Fayetteville last week. All of a sudden, Raglan's already, this is a team that is making a move here in this region. Spring Garden beating Appalachian tonight. Spring Garden should have a loss there. But because Appalachian should have a loss there because they lost to Spring Garden. We'll get that one corrected. But Raglan, big win over Valley Head. That was the big thing tonight. And that may be the difference as far as third, fourth, second in that region. Galesville had a big win tonight as they won at Eider 56-0. But I think the big story here is Raglan. There's the corrected right there.
What a story it would be. At the beginning of the year, we're talking about this school closing down. Am I right?
And they could make
lost several players.
And lost to Donahoe in their first game. I saw that game. And, Coach, you could tell Raglan had the talent, but it was kind of their first game jitters. Donahoe played very well, take nothing away from the Falcons. But you could tell this was a team that was going to get better as the season went along. In the last 2 weeks, Raglan's played some really good football.
And plus, think about the mental side of it. They're thinking this may be our last year. What a story it would be if it does. And it does close down. Think what a story that would be to Raglan to get in the playoffs and do well.
Raglan is looking like they may very well be a playoff team. So they're not just going to go out the regular season. They're going to extend their season, what could be their last season, into the state playoffs. Well, let's tell you about the folks at Dad's Barbecue, top of the river. Another big football Saturday is coming up. And we're getting closer to the holidays. We flipped the calendar over this week into the month of October. And that means folks are thinking about the holidays. And I'll tell you the thing about Dad's Barbecue is if you have never had their smoked turkey, it is unbelievable. The best smoked turkey I've ever had anywhere. That's not all. Of course, they got the great barbecue. They've got hamburgers, potato salad.
Good too.
Onion rings and French fries. Or sweet tea is fantastic. Dad's Barbecue located there on McClellan Boulevard and, of course, top of the river as well. Part of those two great restaurants right here in Anniston, Alabama. It is time now for our next extra point of the night, presented by State Representative out of District 36, Randy Wood. We've talked about it. Talladega's 35-28 win over Asheville last Friday night ended a 26-game losing streak for the Tigers. Talladega had not earned a victory in almost 3 years, going back to the 2021 season. The Tigers' last win until last week was a 51-37 win at Elmore County in Eclectic, October 22nd, 2021. And now the Tigers have won 2 in a row. Back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
At Jacksonville State University, the journey starts with you. It begins with your ambition, your curiosity, your dreams. Here, you forge your own path. You have the power to make a difference, explore new horizons, and turn your passions into your future. At Jack State, we journey forward together. The journey starts with you.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated. Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Regional Medical Center from the get-go, as we would say, from the beginning. RMC Health System has been a proud sponsor of high school football Alabama's After the Game. If you're looking for primary care, they've got the right care, and it's right here at Aniston, Oxford, Jacksonville, and Roanoke. Learn more at rmccares.org /, if I can say it tonight, family medicine. We mentioned yesterday that we were down at Talladega High School. I'll just tell you, it's the first time I've always seen this place and heard about this great big arena that they have at Talladega. I'd never been in there in my life. It's at the center of the school, and it was a great facility and a great pep rally yesterday for our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. So let's tell you yesterday and show you some of the video from the pep rally. There's the team coming in, and the school is really unique because it's kind of built around the arena, and boy, did they have it going yesterday. The band was in there, the cheerleaders, the JV cheerleaders, they were getting after it yesterday. You see the football team over there. We were there to present our Aniston Orthopedic score shirts. There it is with a score on the back from when they beat Asheville the week before, handing those out. We also had the Ted's Floors and Beyond t-shirts. You see those as well. And they had our Awards to Remember Tough Guy trophy presented to the seniors. By the way, guys, only 8 seniors on this Talladega team. You see those 8 seniors there. Appreciate the hospitality at Talladega High School on yesterday. Speaking of hospitality, always great hospitality whenever my crew heads into Center, Alabama. Great place for high school football, as you guys know. Looked around tonight, and the place is packed, standing room only. Anniston brought a great crowd tonight to Center. The Anniston band has about doubled in size. They were fantastic tonight. The Warrior band was great. Everything we talk about high school football, the things we love about high school football, all there in Center tonight. And 2 good football teams, Class 4A Region 6, Anniston and Cherokee County.
You talk a lot about the greatness. Right now, the greatness in this matchup, or at least heading into it, was centered on the defense of Cherokee County. You know, they lost the first week of the season to Piedmont. They had to give a few points in week 2, but since week 2, they've only given up a total of 12 points with 2 shutouts and gave up 6 points in 2 other contests. So they are rolling on defense. Anniston coming off a shutout loss last week. So how would those 2 things play together? Let's head up to Bobby Joe Johnson Stadium in Center. Check out the handshake, and it was a beautiful night for high school football for sure. As you see the Warriors run out, I tell you, just the history of the Herschel Houstons, the Trip Currys, now what they got rolling now, definitely looking pretty good. Anniston on the first drive of the night. It's not going to get started well for the Bulldogs. It's going to be a fumble, and Jamoris Young is going to fumble that. Cherokee County is going to take over on a big play in the first drive of the night. But Cherokee County now back on offense, dropping back to pass, but Anniston is going to get it right back. Kylie Lewis with a pick, and he's going to return this one all the way down to the 35-yard line, but their drive would stall. So back-to-back turnovers here, trying to find their way, and does this happen well for Cherokee County? Tay Diamond finds his way 72 yards for the touchdown. This is going to put the Warriors on top 7-0 in this region affair. So let's back to go for the Bulldogs on offense. Brock Grant is going to pick up 25 tough yards here for the Bulldogs. He's going to be back into the screen there. But that drive would again stall as they would have another pass, or excuse me, this would be a punt, and then this is going to be a return by J.B. Henderson, 26 yards. Nice little move down the sideline, and Cherokee County back on offense from there. Ben Frampton, a 32-yard pass catch, setting up the Warriors for their first down inside Anniston territory. Bulldogs trying to figure out how we can maintain some defense here and keep them out of the end zone. Got a 4th and 5. Ben Mosley, 9-yard pass from Griffith, going to pick up a big first down, and then a 4th and goal from the 11 of Anniston. They're going to set up for a 28-yard field goal, but that would be no good. And so we go back on offense later on for Cherokee County. This is going to be a 4th and 2 again for the Warriors. Another big first down, a 16-yard run for a first down. And then Tristan Brown, this time, he's going to find his way out the back of the Bulldog defense for 26 hard-earned yards for the touchdown. PAT is good, 14-0 at that point, Cherokee County. And then we go on to roll by a final of 14-0.
14-0 at the half, 14-0 the final. And I'll tell you, that number 4 we saw there, Tristan Brown. Coach, we saw him at the Cherokee County Media Day. He's one of those guys, I'm confident to say, as good a player as he is, I don't think he's going to be a major college player playing for Alabama or Georgia or anybody. But he is that classic guy that is a great high school football player. He is a great high school football player, and he's a tackling machine on defense, and then he's on offense tonight with that touchdown run, that tough touchdown run. He is the epitome, guys, to me, of what high school football is all about. Tay Diamond the same way. Yep. Diamond's one of those guys, tackling machine, can't block him, great running back, just great high school football players. That's just another solid Cherokee County team that Jacob Kelly's put together.
What do you think about the defense here? Now that's, again, 12 points total in the last 4 weeks. They give up none again tonight. How good is this Cherokee County defense?
Well, you mentioned Brown and Tay Diamond. They are the epitome of Cherokee County running back type people. Over the years, you've seen plenty of guys that played at center, Cherokee County, that were those type of runners. Coach Kelly is going to make a living off playing great defense and being able to run the football. He's always done that, even where he comes from in Georgia. Play great defense and run the football, it always gives you a chance. And it's going to always give them a chance because they can play great defense, they can stop the run, and they can run. That wins you a lot of ball games.
A little luster with Alexandria's big win tonight against Hoax Bluff.
Yeah.
We said last week, we used that word if. We said if. Everybody's already talking about Oaks Bluff and Cherokee County, and it could be a battle of undefeateds could have. And we said if Oaks Bluff could beat Alexandria, if Cherokee County could beat Anniston. Cherokee County did beat Anniston, but Alexandria pulls the upset tonight. But your thoughts on that game next week, guys? Now Oaks Bluff with a loss. If they got any hopes of trying to win the region title, and maybe even now playing for home field advantage, their backs now are kind of to the wall with the center coming to town.
I wouldn't want to game plan that. That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a great game because both teams are going to be able to run the football. And both teams have very good offensive lines. I still think it's going to be a great ball game. I knew that's a trap game, what we just saw for Oaks Bluff. I actually thought that.
You want me to go cover that next week, Coach, for the Oaks Bluff concession stand?
You can if you want to, but we're all going to go together.
Just because we're a team here, John.
That's right, we're a team. You want to ride with me? You can go too.
To the Oaks Bluff concession stand.
Well, Coach Rob now. Coach Rob has a chance.
Bring me back one of those
yes,
Philly cheesesteak quesadillas.
Coach Rob has a chance now to go back and say, hey, this is the mistake we made. If we keep making them, we're not going to be hosting a home playoff game.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess looking back on it, could be a positive losing tonight, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the middle of the season.
Cherokee County winners tonight over the Anniston Bulldogs in a shutout at Bobby Joe Johnson Field and Center. We'll be back with more of After the Game presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
Your home is a reflection of you.
We understand that. That's why we'll personally help guide you through the process of product selection, finance, and installation. We have an extensive selection of designer tile, stone, carpet, laminate, hardwood, cabinets, and outdoor products, all with industry-leading quality.
Let us help you choose the perfect touches for your entire home. We offer free in-home estimates and design consultations.
Visit us today at Ted's Floors and Beyond.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden, always bringing you our region rundowns. We got a lot more of those to cover tonight. It is tailgate season, and this year you can tailgate in style with a new Team 1 Chevy, making it even better. They have 1.9% financing on all their great vehicles, the Trailblazer, the Equinox, yes, even the new Silverados. And that 1.9% financing can save you thousands of dollars. Go by and see them, East Meagan Boulevard in East Gadsden. Very easy to find. While you're there, register for the ultimate Iron Bowl tailgate package. They got all kinds of great things in that package. Save big, be a winner at Team 1 Chevy in Gadsden, home of the best people at the best service, period. Back on high school football, Alabama after the game on this Football Friday night presented by the Calhoun County Commission. We mentioned earlier we were going to show this to you. I don't think we've done this year. This is what we present to our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week. Look at that right there. That's an after the game jersey, a custom jersey. Farmers and Merchants Bank Team Sports does this jersey. This is what Team Sports does. On the back, they put the player's name. And you see that name, Blevins? Yeah, there's a sneak preview of right now what I'm about to tell you about who our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week is. They also get a plaque from Awards to Remember. That is the fantastic quarterback from Westbrook Christian, Brody Blevins. There he is. I'm sure Brody had a great game tonight. Brody Blevins last week had 330 yards of total offense in that 52-21 win at Munford. He rushed 22 times for 173 yards and 4 touchdowns and rushed for a 2-point conversion. He also completed 7 of 9 passes for 160 yards and another touchdown. All told, Coach, I asked you this about the muscle team. I asked you about this quarterback here, 330 yards and 5 touchdowns last week. That's not bad, is it, Coach?
Jalen Milroe.
No, I almost said the same thing. That's kind of Jalen Milroe-ish right there. Yeah, and you know that Coach Smith's got to be happy with him because the quarterback not only manages the game. That's not a game manager what he just did.
No,
I mean, to have
he did more than manage it tonight too.
Yeah, and his throwing percentage there was unbelievable. Yeah, but you know what you got to have? You have a good line. You got to have people catching the ball. When somebody throws a ball, 10 for 14 or something like that, well, golly, somebody's got to catch it.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic player. I had the chance to watch him a little bit in the Piedmont game a couple weeks ago. The guy's a phenomenal athlete, really good athlete at quarterback for Westbrook Christian. So we'll have that jersey coming his way, and we'll also have a plaque courtesy of Awards to Remember. Our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week for this week, Brody Blevins of the Westbrook Christian Warriors. Now, concession stand of the week, our Johnson's Giant Food concession stand of the week. Coach, last week you missed it. We were the Jacksonville Band Boosters. Let's take you out to Jacksonville right now and take a look at some of the Band Booster concession stand at Jacksonville High School and check them out.
Okay, Jacksonville Golden Eagle concession stand, Band Booster concession stand. President is Tanya Miller. Tanya, tell us what all you've got going on. This is a busy place. They're lined up around the corner here. So tell us about what happens on Friday nights in this concession stand.
Well, on Friday nights, we are very busy in here, as you can see. We have hamburgers and hot dogs, cheeseburgers, nachos, barbecue nachos, which seems to be the favorite tonight, chips, candy, drinks, Powerade, and all the proceeds actually go to the Jacksonville High School Band.
All right, so what kinds of things do the band use these proceeds for?
We use them for our transportation fees, for competition fees, anytime we need equipment, things like that for the band. That's what our funds go towards.
Takes a lot of volunteers to do this. You think they can take time to give us a big go, Golden Eagles?
Oh, I'm sure they can. Let me see. Hey guys, I know we're really busy, but on the count of 3, can we do a really big go, Golden Eagles? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go, Golden Eagles!
Awesome. Thank you, Tanya. Thanks to the Jacksonville Band Booster concession stand right here on the far end of the stadium at Golden Eagle Stadium in Jacksonville. All right, we are at the Jacksonville Band Boosters concession stand. This is on the far end of the stadium as you come in at Golden Eagle Stadium in Jacksonville. I guess this will be the east end of the stadium. Don Wilson flying solo tonight with our Johnson's Giant Food concession stand of the week. And we got barbecue nachos tonight. And I have to say, I can actually see the glistening. This is some outstanding looking barbecue. Don, just from the look of it, what do you think?
Well, John, it's glad to be back at this refurbished new stadium here at Jacksonville High School, and these nachos look they look refurbished to the hilt here.
Don's going to dig in while I talk a little bit and give you the play-by-play of this. Got the chips and we got the cheese on there. Got some fantastic. I saw them out there breaking up the barbecue. Actually, out back out here, they were breaking that up and putting it on there. That looks, Don, outstanding.
It is outstanding.
Outstanding.
On a rainy night here at Golden Eagle Stadium.
All right, so this is the barbecue nachos. Again, Jacksonville Band Booster Club on the east end of the stadium as you come in, far end of the stadium at Golden Eagle Stadium. Check this out. Fantastic stuff here for our Johnson's Giant Food concession stand of the week. And there you see it. They're wrapping up some of their other items there. They've got a big grill out in the back there, and they've got the barbecue. They've got the hamburgers, the hot dogs. You see some boiled peanuts coming in there as well. And they really loaded that with the cheese and the barbecue. There's some of the hot dogs they're cooking out there. Hard-working folks in these concession stands. Coach, I hate that you missed the barbecue nachos at Jacksonville.
I'm sure they were good, but, you know, I'm kind of still full from earlier in the year. I'll make up for it next week.
Yeah,
I'll let Don do it. He looks deprived.
I don't know. He didn't look too deprived with what he's been tasting the last few weeks. By the way, Johnson's Giant Food, 5 locations to serve you in Etowah and Calhoun counties, Jacksonville, Coldwater, downtown Gadsden, East Gadsden, also in Attala. A $100 gift card from Johnson's on the way to the folks in Jacksonville. They can go to the Johnson's right there in Jacksonville and buy them $100 worth of supplies to help out with raising money to help our young people there in the Jacksonville Golden Eagle Band. All right, guys, let's dive back into our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. We're going to take a look at Class 5A. It's shaping up. I think this is it, Coach. It's Beauregard. If there's anybody in this region that's going to challenge Central Clay County, it looks like it's going to be up to the Beauregard Hornets.
Well, they might challenge them in the first 5 minutes, but after that, it'll be over.
When is that game?
I think that's a couple of weeks away. Central
Yes.
Clay County's got Marbury coming up next week, which, to be honest with you, probably is the worst team in that region. They're 0-6 coming in next week to take on 7-0 Central Clay County. Valley had a big win tonight at Sylacauga.
They did, and Elmore County, this game was close at halftime.
Speaking of Valley, we had a special guest join us tonight.
We
Coach.
did, Mr. Harris,
Yes.
Gary Harris, and his wife, Linda.
Yeah, they visited with us here. They've been promising to come by here and finally made it by to our studio here at Parker Memorial Baptist Church, and were able to hang out with us here in the Dad's Barbecue Top of the River Media Center tonight. Guys from down in the Valley way. Let's look at now Class 5A, the other region in our area, 5A Region 6. And again, it kind of looks like this thing is shaping up as a 2-team race to see who's going to win the region between Leeds and Moody. But Jacksonville, I think this was the big story tonight. Jacksonville beating Springville. And, Coach, I have the feeling, now St. Clair County is a good team. I know they're 0-3. They're better than advertised. I think that win for Jacksonville tonight may be a win that we look back on that is going to be a win that maybe puts them in the playoffs.
Yeah, they get back into the winning circle, winning a ball game again. You know, those kids are used to winning. They have been for several years now. But sometimes you just need that one win. They got it tonight, and I still think Jacksonville's going to be in the playoffs. I'm still pulling for them to be in the playoffs.
We talked about how difficult that schedule was there for a moment, and that that sun would start coming out a little bit in the second half of the season. Certainly looks like that this week.
Chad, you make a good point there about that, the toughness of the schedule. And I think in the playoffs, Jacksonville coming out of this region, if they can slip in there as a 3 or a 4, that will be a tough first-round opponent for a region champion or a region runner-up team to have coming in. Jacksonville won't, in my opinion, Jacksonville will not be that typical 4 seed coming in.
They did it before when they were in the South, in 4A. They would go on the road. Bibb County, maybe I'm just thinking, but they've went on the road and got a victory before, and so they're used to doing that.
Mm-hmm. We mentioned earlier about being down at Talladega with our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. The reigning Team of the Week, the Talladega Tigers. We'll have our announcement of who's going to be this week's Team of the Week coming up a little bit later on in the show. I was at Ted's today at their showroom, actually yesterday. Let me just tell you, that showroom is fantastic. You go in there, they've got a great selection of not only carpet and tile and all the flooring. You want the wood floors, but now they're doing cabinets and things like that. They're doing complete bathroom and kitchen makeovers. Great folks at Ted's, and they have everything you would need. They've got all the top brands like Mohawk, Shaw, Wellborn cabinets, all at Ted's Floors and Beyond, bringing you our Team of the Week. And that announcement coming up for Week 7 in just a moment. We'll be back with After the Game presented by the Calhoun County Commission in just a moment.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated. Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
McClellan Sports and Outdoors, locally owned and operated since 2008. We offer embroidery, sublimation, and screen printing, and we stock a large selection of team equipment. We have a large showroom with tons of gear and shoes to get you and your family ready for your next activity. Adidas, Under Armour, Maui Jim, Evo Shield, Wilson, and more. We are located in the heart of Calhoun County, here to serve our region with all your athletic needs.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Awards to remember. Go to awardstoRemember.com and you'll find all the great awards they have. One of the top 10 awards dealers in the Southeast. Again, visit their showroom on Alabama Highway 144 out in Ohatchee. Robert Smith, who I'm sure is very happy tonight, and his crew out there at Awards to Remember doing a fantastic job. They're the only place really to go to. This is the place to go get your awards, your trophies, your plaques, anything that you need in that manner. Awards to Remember. They do our Tough Guy trophy. They do our plaques. They do everything for us here at High School Football Alabama after the game. And if you need any kind of awards, go to awardstoRemember.com and they will take care of you. Class 3A action tonight. We're about to look at the 3A regions in our region rundown, but before that, a pivotal game. There were a couple of those, and we were all over those games tonight. Our game of the week that Coach was at earlier with Judd Edwards, State Farm Insurance, the Piedmont Westbrook game. But I tell you what, as it turned out, guys, the game that may be most impactful coming out of tonight was the game in Rainbow City between Ohatchee and Westbrook.
Big game for us, playoff situations, who's going to make it, who's not. Westbrook coming in at 2-2 in the region, Ohatchee at 1-3. Both teams needing this win desperately. And so let's go to the highlights in Westbrook Christian and see how this game played out between the Warriors and the Indians, as we will go up there and see how Steve Smith and his squad would look tonight. It would be a barn burner. This one would go down to the wire, and it started out with some fireworks and ended with some more as well. Let's take out the highlights and see how it all plays out. Got a 4th and 10, bad snap for Ohatchee. Drake Kay, though, he's going to pick it up and scamper for a first down. Big play there for the Indians, and that is a massive hit right there. So Ohatchee coming out delivering the blows. Next play, Robertson, he's going to find Jaden Hurd, who gets another first down. Ohatchee, offensively, 0 problems this year. They have been able to score on anybody that they played. But a few plays later, the Robinson goes to the air again, but this time he's going to be picked off in the end zone. Luke Thompson with a massive play for the Warriors. This gives Westbrook the ball. Now on offense, Brody Blevins, last week's Player of the Week, and I tell you, he had a massive night tonight as well. Very next play, Blevins connects to Bo Kilgo, who is never going to be whistled down here, and he is going to be stripped as a result of it by Braden Collins, who's going to run it all the way back for an Ohatchee touchdown. Massive swing of events there, and Ohatchee takes the lead after the PAT was good. 7-7 or 7-0 is your score. It would be 7-7 here very quickly because Warriors back to work. Blevins back to pass. Young man is going to connect with Kilgo. This time he will not be brought down nor stripped. He's going to go to the end zone for a touchdown, and we are tied up at 7 apiece at that point. And the final score would be in favor of Westbrook tonight, 48-27. But let me tell you, this game came down. It was a one-score game. In the fourth quarter, Blevins had a massive 70-plus yard touchdown run that really extended this lead, and then Westbrook would have another possession, and they would just eke out that clock. Too much Westbrook tonight. 48-27 is the final.
Well, the director of football operations over at Westbrook, my good friend Kurt Duryea, just sent me some stats here.
Okay.
So I'll get these to you. You talked about the massive night Brody Blevins had again. Mm-hmm. Almost 400 yards of offense tonight. Yeah. 33 rushes for 213 yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground tonight. Then passing 10 out of 18, 173 more yards and 2 more touchdowns. Passing, you mentioned Bo Kilgo, 5 receptions, 125 yards and a touchdown. And I love this name, one of the great names in high school football in East Alabama this year, Maximus Jones.
Not bad.
Maximus Jones had 2 catches, 39 yards and a touchdown. Reed Barber also kicked 6 of 6 on extra points. But again, massive numbers. And I don't know if we've mentioned that Mr. Blevins is a sophomore.
Well, wow. he looks phenomenal. And he really, when the game was on the line, because it was nip and tuck all the way. And they just had that extra little piece of gas in the end, and it was mainly because of Blevins on those big runs.
That 9th and 10th grade class that Westbrook has.
Mm-hmm. I'm hearing a lot about them, Coach. A lot about them.
Was the only class that give Piedmont's same class any competition for the past 2 years when Coach Smith was there, really the past 3 years. So might be some future big ball games coming amongst that group.
Wow.
I know Coach Smith's thinking that's rat poison if he's listening right now, but it's the truth, and I can say it now. It's the truth.
A massive win for Westbrook tonight. That's going to be a big win as far as getting the Warriors into the playoffs. And is there any coach in this state that's more experienced in playoffs than Steve Smith is?
No.
That'd be a tough out right there to be facing them.
Yeah, because they're getting better every week. We talked about
a while ago, getting better every week, and the quarterback play. Steve Smith is a quarterback whisperer.
It's going to be tough to get into the top 2, though, still, right? For them, it looks like they're probably going to make the playoffs, but it's more likely they're going to be on the road the first round. Is that the way it's looking like?
They've lost to Locust Fort and they've lost to Piedmont, but they still have Welborn coming up. They've beaten Ohatchee. That Welborn, the last 2 games for Welborn is going to be Westbrook and Piedmont.
Yeah.
Those are going to be massive games. Welborn, I think, has got Locust Fort coming in a couple of weeks. That stretch run for Welborn is going to be huge. And I think we forget that Welborn's undefeated.
Yeah, they're 4-0 in the region. And so you got 2 unbeaten teams in region play, so they're going to need some help to get in those top 2 slots.
Welborn's sitting right where they want to be. Quietly, nobody's talking about them. They're one of the most physical football teams out there. And Coach Smith, I would hate to be a 3-2 matchup with them being 3 facing somebody's 2. That'd be a tough matchup right there for somebody.
Let's take a look at Class 3A now. We go back to our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. We had another big game in 3A tonight with our South region, and that was the game we had all been looking forward to. Glenwood and Randolph County playing down at Smith Station tonight.
They put some points up.
And that was 68-40. Glenwood won. Coach, but this was a close game until right before halftime between Glenwood and Randolph County.
Yeah, friends of mine was texting me back and forth while I was at Piedmont, and it was a close game. And all of a sudden they got too late right before the half, and it kind of got away from them. And
Beulah, another team, had a big win last night at BB Comer, 43-40. Look out for them as well. Still a lot to be decided there. You got Comer, Dadeville, and Childersburg, but
that's probprobly the order.
That may be the order right there. Beulah and Lee Scott will be a big game. I think Randolph County and Lee Scott, I think they played though, haven't they? So that's going to be that region right there is going to be good. Class 3A Region 6, the region we just talked about there. This is a 9-team region. Piedmont and Welborn, look at that. Both teams 4-0 in region play. Both teams undefeated overall. Locust Fork takes their first loss tonight. Pennington, a big win over Sachs. Westbrook, a big win over Ohatchee. Still a lot to be decided there. But I tell you, the two teams that really did well tonight, Welborn had an open date, by the way, didn't play tonight. They just sat back and watched everybody else. But the three teams tonight really with big wins. Pennington, big win. Westbrook, big win. Piedmont, obviously, big win tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that whole region there is still, it's not decided. I promise you, it's not decided.
Right, as we said, going down, Piedmont and Welborn, big game. Welborn and Locust Fork, big game. Welborn and Westbrook, that's going to be a big game. So still a lot of big games coming.
Very physical games coming.
Absolutely.
Very physical.
Absolutely. Class 3A Region 6 in our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden Region Rundown. We will be back. More highlights coming. And we've got our Game of the Week, Team of the Week, East Alabama Top 10, all that still to come on After the Game.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
As a social worker, my cousin devotes her career to helping others. But when she was diagnosed with cancer, she was the one who needed help. She needed a hospital with an accredited cancer program and the latest in technology and care options. Plus, a compassionate team of doctors, nurses, and counselors with treatments that fit her schedule.
So where did she find all that? Right here at RMC.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Wow, these guys are everywhere. I'm telling you.
Hey, you remember when we talked about doing some upgrades to the bathrooms and the floors?
I do.
Well, I think it's about time we check in to do it.
I know exactly who to call. They're everywhere.
From your kitchen, bathroom, living room, fireplace, or anything in between, even the golf course, Ted's is everywhere. Call today for your free in-home estimate.
neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
USA Softball of Alabama bringing you our scoreboard here on After the Game. And coming up next weekend, they have their Alabama Fall State Championships. You can find out more about that by going to usasoftballofalabama.com. All kinds of information on there. They've got the Toys for Tots tournament coming up as we get deeper into the fall. They've got the Red, White, and Boom tournament in Albertville coming up. A lot of great things going on with USA Softball of Alabama. Go to usasoftballofalabama.com. Well, the game that everyone's talking about tonight, guys, the game that happened out at Death Valley in Alexandria. A huge win for the Valley Cubs tonight as they upset state-ranked and previously unbeaten Hoax Bluff. You know, we're going to have our game of the year coming up. Chad, you know all about that last year. Yep. You had the game of the year last year, the Hoax Bluff Piedmont overtime game. Another game involving Hoax Bluff probably is going to be one of our nominees as Alexandria wins this game with 24 seconds to go in the game.
Phenomenal. I love this part of the year. We're not quite at the end, but we're right there in the middle where all these games start to make sense. Where does it look like in the playoff race? Alexander, we talked about them all last year. Win their final game of the season, win their only game. Proud program. They come back this year, and now they're sitting 2-1 heading into tonight's game against a very good, undefeated Hoax Bluff team, trying to go from 2-1 to 3-1 or 2-2. Massive swing there. Could they pull off the upset? I think we've already figured that out tonight. Let's go to the highlights and check it out. Lou Scale Stadium, one of the best venues in all of Alabama. I don't care what you say or where you're from. It's awesome. Lou Scale Stadium, we arrive. It's 14-7 at the start of the third. Alexander on offense. Cole Wheeler is going to be picked off by Drew McCarver, and that's going to be driven back, giving Hoax Bluff the ball in Alexander territory. However, trouble with strikes, the Eagles when Bryce Whitaker is picked off by Moncrea Morris Jr. So that gives Alexander the ball. Now Valley Cubs back to work, and Morris, he's going to get the first down on the run. Tough little spot there for the young man for the first down for the Valley Cubs. Next play, Wheeler goes to the air again. This time he's going to connect with Quindavion McDowell for another first down for the Valley Cubs. Then back to Morris, who takes it in for the Valley Cub touchdown. Nice patient running there, getting into the end zone for the Valley Cubs. We are all tied up at 14 apiece when the PAT is good. Eagles now with the ball. Whitaker, he's going to take this one over the left side for the first down. Scampering, just staying inside the out-of-bounds line. A few plays later, Whitaker, he's going to take this one, and he is not going to be stopped until he crosses that goal line. PAT is good. The Bluff on top, 21-14. Alexandria, though, with the ball, handoff would be fumbled, recovered by Caden Howard for the Eagles. It is not looking good for the home team in orange and black right now. Eagles back with the ball. Whitaker, he's going to get the tough running first down. Next play, Blaine Barron, he would punch this in for another touchdown. It is 27-14 at this point. Looks like there's no shot for Alexandria at this point, but as we know, we saw the ticker tonight. We saw the scores. We saw the breakdown. Alexandria with a massive comeback, 28-27, beating Hoax Bluff. John, how did this actually play out down the stretch?
Kicking game was huge. After that touchdown that Hoax Bluff scored, they missed the extra point. That left it at 27-14, and we're deep in the fourth quarter. At this point in time, about 7 minutes or so to go in the game. Alexandria drives down the field. They score, cut it down to 27-21. And then kicking game again. Todd Ginn goes for an onside kick. Alexandria recovers. They go down, eat up all the time, all the way down, score, I think, on a 1.5-yard touchdown run with 24 seconds to go in the game. And, of course, they got one of the best kickers in the state in Cleet Forrest. Yep. Cleet Forrest kicks the extra point, and then they seal it as Hoax Bluff had a few seconds left. They throw an interception. Alexandria intercepts it, and I would imagine there's a big party happening in Death Valley tonight out in Alexandria.
I bet when Cleet kicked that extra point, I don't know what end it was on, but it either went into the pasture or it went into the road, because that boy can kick it.
Yeah.
And that's not a surprise going onside kick. I mean, everybody thinks, well, you have to do that. Not with about 4 minutes to go, you don't.
Yeah.
If you got, I don't know how many timeouts you got, but it's a calculated risk. It's something you watch on film. They're too tight, you know, they're not wide enough to cover the field, and you got a spot, and you might as well go for it. And with a kicker like him that can actually, I'm sure he practices it all the time, can make it bounce in the air. I'd love to have seen it, what kind of onside kick it was, but it's a calculated risk. But there's no surprise that Coach Ginn did it and made it, because they've done them for years, especially in the Valley. I knew it was going to be tough going in the Valley to make that play.
I always remember this story. This is probably mid-2000s. We were doing the game of the week whenever Alexandria, I think we were playing Hamilton late in the playoffs, and I was on the sideline for that game. And I made mention on the broadcast about the mystique of the Valley, because, you know, you just, that was back then when, you know, just weird things happened.
Oh, yeah.
The Hamilton coaches were having to be on the top of the visitor sideline. I guess they didn't want to be in the booth for whatever reason, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, I made mention of that on the broadcast, and like a week later, I had to go give something to Alexandria, and Larry Ginn was not happy with what I had to say. But it goes back to the mystique of the Valley. Things happen in that place, and they have a belief. And when you come back in a game like this, 27-14, they should not have won this game. They came back, they fought hard, they found a way to win this game. It's awesome.
And, you know, the thing about this is a young Alexandria team, a lot of 10th graders, good 10th grade class coming. And so a win like this, sending shockwaves through not only the region, but really the state of Alabama. This is kind of the win, you know, with Alexandria, with the talent they have coming, with the youth that they have on this team. I think this may be the night, October 4th of 2024, when in a couple of years they look back and say, man, this was when things really, because let's not forget last year, Alexandria was 1-9.
It looked bleak.
And now here they are. This is a team that could be hosting a first-round playoff game now.
Well, Todd heard him even in media days and other times I've talked to him. He loves this football team. He likes how they compete. He said they compete like old Alexandria football teams. They're going to fight you to the end. You're never going to give up. You always got a chance, and that's what they thought tonight. They never thought they were out of it. And I've seen them play this year. I saw them play against Anniston. You know, so you know what happens when you start looking at scores? Young kids look at scores. Host Bluffs probably think, Anniston just took Alexandria and beat them to death.
Well, then
that's what you fight, that rat poison.
I don't want to say they're looking ahead, but they got a big game coming up. So, yeah, a little bit of everything working together.
Give all the credit to Alexandria for figuring out a way to get the job done.
Let's go back to our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. And speaking of 4A, let's look at the 4A regions. Here's 4A Region 3. Just got news that St. James and Booker T. Washington play tonight. St. James wins it 32-28. So now we talk about controlling your own destiny. St. James wins out, they're going to be the region champions because they're the only undefeated team in region play. Booker T. Washington, their first loss tonight. Tell you, the team to watch right there is Hanley, because Hanley is playing some really good football tonight. Hanley had a big win. They've been playing very well the last 2 or 3 weeks, and Hanley tonight beat Bullitt County on the road. That's a pretty good Bullitt County team, 38-21 tonight. So, again, a lot still to be decided there, because look at the number of 1-3 teams and the number of 3-1 teams. But I think, Coach, probably the top 4, that is your top 4, maybe.
And it may be that order. I mean, the only order that could change is Hanley and Booker T, because Hanley's already been beaten by St. James.
Let's come north to the region we just talked about, Class 4A Region 6, and there it is. Again, same scenario. The only team that controls their own destiny is Cherokee County. If Cherokee County wins out, they'll be the region champion. That's still a monster game next week with Hoax Bluff, but look at Alexandria now, 3-1, and they have the loss to Anniston right now really doesn't matter, because they've got the head-to-head on Hoax Bluff. So that is an Alexandria team that could be hosting a home field playoff game. And it might not be. Hey, listen, if Cherokee County comes in and they beat Hoax Bluff next week, we might be looking to that Alexandria Center game And boy, have they had some battles through the years. That's an interesting region
There's
right
so
there.
many ways this could play out. Because I mean, if Hoax Bluff wins, then we got a three-way tie at the top, and who knows how that's going to end up, right? I mean,
watch out for Etowah as far as a playoff berth goes. Etowah and Anniston are next week, right up the street here at Lot Mosby.
We could see what we're going to see. I can tell you right now, we're going to see some tiebreakers somewhere here. It's going to have to take place, and I bet you next week it will be a monstrous crowd. Bobby Tittle will probably let people out of school at lunchtime to bring them down there.
You had to put him in there.
Got him in there.
You got
my man in there.
I knew you were going to find your way to work him in there.
I worked him in there.
I talked with Mr. Tittle tonight.
And I bet it was by the goalpost.
Yes. Well, he actually came with the sideline. We talked about. Did talk to him at the goalpost as well.
Got 2 mentions.
But there you go. 2 big games next week. Cherokee County, Hoax Bluff, Anniston, Etowah. Big implications as far as playoff goes in those regions. Here's big implications for our next extra point, presented by Randy Wood, State Representative of District 36. And here it is, guys. Next week's Cherokee County at Hoax Bluff game will be the 71st meeting of the 2 longtime rivals. The series began in 1938. The Warriors lead the rivalry 46-20-4. The Warriors and Eagles have not met since 2019, with the Bluff winning in double overtime. Hoax Bluff has won 3 in a row and 4 of the last 5 in the series. Next Friday night at Mike Robertson Stadium, the Warriors and the Eagles one more time. More after the game in just a moment.
At Jacksonville State University, the journey starts with you. It begins with your ambition, your curiosity, your dreams. Here, you forge your own path. You have the power to make a difference, explore new horizons, and turn your passions into your future. At Jack State, we journey forward together. The journey starts with you.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
As a social worker, my cousin devotes her career to helping others. But when she was diagnosed with cancer, she was the one who needed help. She needed a hospital with an accredited cancer program and the latest in technology and care options. Plus, a compassionate team of doctors, nurses, and counselors with treatments that fit her schedule.
So where did she find all that? Right here at RMC.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Earlier tonight, we had our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser with the head coach of the Munford Lions, Michael Easley, live. Noble Bank and Trust Community Bank. I can tell you from experience, they are a person, a face, a name. When you walk into one of their branches, you are more than an account number. All their decisions made locally, and they give back to their communities. They have accounts and services that are tailored to fit your needs. And hey, if you want to switch banks, they make it easy. They will hold your hand from beginning to end. High tech and high touch. Noble Bank and Trust, bringing you our post-game presser, our coaches' interviews here each and every Friday night on After the Game. More highlights coming your way as we bring Coach and Chad back in tonight. Another big game in 3A Region 6. Two teams kind of trying to get some momentum going tonight. Glencoe and Weaver had the Weaver cheerleaders in earlier. Did a great job with our Anniston Orthopedics Cheer Squad of the Week. And they had a lot to cheer about tonight, Chad, because their team had a win. It's always good to see teams that have not had much success get a win on a Friday night.
We've been saying it all year, Weaver's going to get somebody. They're just too talented not to, right? Caden Gooden decided that, hey, tonight's going to be that night, and Weaver would pull out the win. Let's go to the highlights and check it out and see how the Bearcats did fare. Bill Bryan Stadium, home of the Weaver Bearcats. And here is Caden Gooden calling his own number, breaking a few tackles, head over toward the sideline for about a 20-yard pickup for the Bearcats. Kid is special. What was it, a 3.9 GPA too, something like that in the Scholar Athlete? Amazing. Next play, Gooden will hand off to Demarion Welch. He's going to go between the tackles, get inside the 5-yard line, just outside of a score. Next play, Gooden goes to the air, finding Keyshawn Allen, another stud that they've got on that offensive side. 7-0 Bearcats at this point. Glencoe, though, with the ball. Aiden Johnson handing off to Alex Hutton, who will pick up the first down. A few plays later, Johnson immediately goes to the air. He's going to connect with Carter Cooks for another Yellow Jacket first down. Later in the drive, Johnson again going to the air. Tristan Gray in the end zone. 2-point conversion will be no good, but it's still a 7-6 game now in favor of the Bearcats. Ken Cofer, head coach of those Bearcats, watching his offense take back to the field and more good. And he's going to fake the handoff on the option, call his own number, and streak down the sideline for a first down inside the 30 as they're going in for more. Next play, Gooden again on the keeper, takes it all the way for the touchdown. Weaver would be up 14-6 at this point. Final tonight in Weaver, 42-20 over the Glencoe Yellow Jackets. First win of the year for Weaver. Congratulations to Bearcats country.
You know, and as you guys know through the years, it's one of the unexplainable rivalries in here, but Weaver and Glencoe have always been a huge rivalry. They're not next door to each other, about 20 miles away, but my goodness, the rivalry through the years, and it doesn't matter what the records are, it's kind of off the chain. And so those two teams, you know, went at it today.
Where does that stem from? Because there's no geographical connection there, really.
They've had some very physical games over the year. A lot of flag filling games.
Well, I do know there was about one of Osmond's team a couple years ago that was really good when Glencoe was really rolling about 7 or 8 years ago. They were really physical. Maybe that was one of those that you're talking about there.
It was. We played them game 10.
Did you?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Big win for the Glencoe Yellow, or I should say for the Weaver Bearcats tonight over the Glencoe Yellow Jackets. Weaver gets their first win tonight out at Bill Bryan Stadium. We come back, we got more highlights, East Alabama Top 10, and also our Team of the Week announcement, all still to come on After the Game.
Your home is a reflection of you.
We understand that. That's why we'll personally help guide you through the process of product selection, finance, and installation. We have an extensive selection of designer tile, stone, carpet, laminate, hardwood, cabinets, and outdoor products, all with industry-leading quality.
Let us help you choose the perfect touches for your entire home. We offer free in-home estimates and design consultations.
Visit us today at Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated. Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
We just talked about the Weaver Bearcats, and the Weaver Bearcats brought their cheerleaders in because they were the Aniston Orthopedics Cheer Squad of the Week this week. Hey, tomorrow morning and every Saturday morning during football and volleyball season, Aniston Orthopedics has their Saturday morning sports injury clinic at their offices in the Tyler Center, just down the street here in Midtown Aniston. 8 a.m. You can see an orthopedic surgeon, get x-rays. Most importantly, they'll get you back on the field as soon as possible. And listen, there's no sense in suffering, worrying all weekend long about your injury. Go down there first thing in the morning, less than 8 hours away now. Go by and see them at 8 a.m. at the Tyler Center for Aniston Orthopedics. Back on high school football, Alabama's after the game. Time for more highlights tonight. Oxford kind of getting tuned up, getting ready for, in 2 weeks, they've got an open date next week, and then getting ready for 2 weeks for that monumental showdown with Clay Chalkville. But tonight, they only led 7-0 against Pell City at halftime, but Coach Adams apparently got their attention at halftime tonight.
Found something to say. I'll tell you, this Battle of I-20 had a lot of high hopes, before this season started. Rush Probst abruptly leaves Pell City in the spring. They haven't quite held up their end of the bargain on that. They were 2-3 entering into the matchup tonight, but Oxford, number 5 in the state, unbeaten. It looks like they're just going to roll tonight, but they didn't. Let's go to the highlights and check it out at Lamar Field in Oxford. 7-0 right before half as we arrived. And that would be the first drive of the half for Pell City. Quarterback Brody Gossett scrambles out of the pocket. He's going to decide to head down the sideline for an open field, but stop for no gain. Next play, Gossett looks to the air. He's going to find John David Probst for a 5-yard pickup. Now 3rd down, Gossett draws back to pass again. He finds Darrell Wade, this time for no gain. So that would be all for Pell City. Man, that's a nice little gang tackle there there he is, Sam Adams, head coach of the Yellow Jackets. Quarterback Mason Mims would take over in the second. This pass to Demius Wilson for a first down near the 45-yard line. Next play, Mims going to fake the handoff, dump it out to Wilson again. This time he's going to cut up the field and take it inside the Pell City 45. Caleb Wynn, this time he's going to get the call. What a massive year he's having. Going to take it in there for a first down for the Yellow Jackets. A few plays later, Mims looks to the air. Kanan Bozeman into the end zone. Oxford would be up at this point. It's a touchdown for the gold and black, and they would look back no more. 27-0. Oxford would stretch out to this win tonight.
Oxford wins it 27-0. Open date coming, then the showdown for, in essence, what's going to be the region title game, because Clay Chalk beat Mountain Brook tonight 21-14. So that kind of sets it up. Region title game at Lamar Field in Oxford. Coach, I would think that Sam Adams probably not in the moment, but probably wasn't the worst thing in the world for Pell City to come in and really stand up to his team in that first half and only be ahead 7-0. Kind of gives him a chance to harp on something in this off week that's coming up.
Oh, for him it was perfect. It was the perfect setup. And I know that halftime they probably heard it, and even after the game. Yeah, they come back and they did better in the second half, but they're going to hear it. Mims threw his first interception of the year tonight. First one.
And they throw the ball
quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
He stole it a lot of times, so that's, I mean, yeah, you hate it that he had an interception, but to only have one, you can't beat that.
Going to be a lot of hype. A lot of hype coming in the next 2 weeks about that game, because you're talking about a top 5 matchup. Defending state champion coming to Lamar Field, top 5 matchup in 6A. Be one of the biggest games in this state this year in any classification.
You better get there early.
I wonder who Clay has this coming week.
I think they have maybe Shades Valley, somebody like that.
Mountain Brook was this week, so they don't have anything like, you know.
Didn't they beat Thompson week 4 last?
Wow.
Not bad.
But it'll be crowded. I promise you. You better get a place, get there early, maybe stand in the end zone, because that'd be the only place to be open to stand.
Lots
of media.
Pay for some jerseys with this game, won't you?
Yes.
Just a little bit.
Pay on that building they built.
No kidding.
Let's talk about some more regions now. And, of course, obviously, talking about Oxford, we're going to talk about 6A regions in our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. There it is, Class 6A Region 6. Everybody in the region now has at least 2 losses. That includes Mountain Brook. So now Oxford and Clay Chalkville, this is it. It's set up. This is, for all intents and purposes, unless some really crazy stuff happens, this is the region title game coming up in 2 weeks. And Class 6A Region 8, Gadsden City winning tonight. Fort Payne won again tonight. Same kind of deal seems to be setting up. Everybody in that region has at least 2 losses, except for guys, Fort Payne and Gadsden City. It seems like every year, it seems like that it comes down to Fort Payne and Gadsden City. And think about this. Southside was just a 56-yard field goal away from beating Fort Payne. They could have really set things up differently in this region. Southside won again tonight. Real impressive win up in Huntsville against Mae Jemison. Coach, you just pointed out Southside. That's a team that is getting better every week, and that is a team that might just be a playoff team out of this region before it's over.
Yeah, and I know they're sitting there at 2 and 3, but you know they were interception versus Hope's Bluff from winning that game. Had a pick 6.
Yeah,
that was a close game. You know, really down to the wire against a good football team. But yeah, that and on the top, Gadsden City and Fort Payne, that's going to be interesting. Because if it comes down to the kicking game, Fort Payne may have an advantage on that because they can kick.
And we're just a couple weeks away from that first ever historical Gadsden City Southside game over at Titan Stadium. Guys, now time for our awards to remember. East Alabama Top 10 as we go to our Top 10. And we've got one change this week, and it's a pretty big change. Our number 10 team last week was Hope's Bluff. They lost, so we got a new number 10 team. That team is a team that did not play tonight, Walter Welborn. Coach, you pointed it out earlier. Quietly, Welborn's 5-0, undefeated.
He'll probably be
not ranked in the top 10.
Texting me right now saying, do not put us in there right there. They don't need that.
Number 9 in our East Alabama Top 10, Gadsden City. You know, they got that one loss to Hewitt-Trussville. And Hewitt-Trussville tonight, they were sitting there giving Thompson all they wanted. So that tells you the quality team that they lost to there. Number 8 is Cherokee County. Since that loss to Piedmont in the opening week on the last play of the game, they have not lost a game. Number 7 in our East Alabama Top 10, Moody. 2 losses, but again, those 2 losses to Oxford and to Gainesville, Georgia. So they win again tonight. Number 6 in our East Alabama Top 10, Spring Garden. Just continues to roll in Class 1A again. Now, are we saying that Spring Garden's going to beat Moody? No. We're not saying Spring Garden's going to beat Gadsden City. We're saying relative to being in their own classification, in Class 1A, Spring Garden probably is one of the, I'd say, 2 or 3 best teams in North Alabama, probably.
That's right.
Class 5A, or I should say number 5, I don't know where that came from. Number 5, Coosa Christian. Just rolling over Cleveland tonight, 43-0, number 4. In our East Alabama top 10, Piedmont Bulldogs. Coach, you'll have to answer for that. Having them that low, they felt like they needed to jump, but again, the teams ahead of them didn't do anything but win tonight. Piedmont solidly at 4. Number 3 in our East Alabama top 10, Oxford. Again, just they played a tough schedule too, and they're still undefeated. Number 2 in the East Alabama top 10, Wadley. Big winners tonight over a county rival in Woodland, 49-14. Undefeated number 1 team in the state in 1A, and number 1 Central of Clay County. Again, another impressive win tonight as they remain undefeated. Guys, I see, as we talk about every week, I see a lot of region champions here in this East Alabama top 10.
I do. I don't know. That's interchangeable. As far as wins relative to their classification, the teams they have beat, I feel like that resume may be a little stronger than Oxford. Oxford obviously has the big Clay Chalk Bowl game. They have, they could end up with a better resume, but I think right now Piedmont's got the more impressive wins. I would maybe flip that, but it's a strong top 10 for sure.
Coach, what do you think about our top 10 here? What strikes you?
Well, I don't flip it because the win over Mountain Brook, and we thought tonight would be one of their biggest wins, and it wasn't. They're a good football team.
Yeah, so how do we look at that, though? Because the Locust Force, I think we all thought this was going to be a barn burner, right? And they come out and they just dominate from beginning to end. The Dino quarterback was phenomenal all year. I think you guys, we were texting about his touchdown rates all this year. He was one of the best players, arguably, in the area, and they just shut them down completely. So how do we look at them? Do we downplay the Locust Fork win because it was so impressive? Or do we put some more weight on that and say Piedmont was that much better?
I think it's a combination of both because I think we see what does Locust Fork do against Welborn, for instance. How do they do against Welborn? And but again, all these teams, Wadley's, they didn't have the game with Glenwood, but they do have Lee Scott coming up. That's going to be a big test for Wadley.
I'd like to see that one. The ones at the top, that's not going to change. They're not going anywhere.
You got these folks already holding blue mat.
Yeah, well, last week they texted me for a week saying we never could get us up there. Hey, so y'all are here tonight, guys.
This, I think, let me make sure I'm right in saying this. We could have a state championship matchup amongst our East Alabama top 10 because we could have that and that. They're in the north, they're in the south. That could be easily Protective Stadium in December. Clay Central and Moody could play for a state title.
But I'll say this. They would have a easier route to get there than they're going to have because there's 3, but there's 3 boogers they got to get through to get there. I'm telling you, there's some, and look here. Remember who they beat this year?
Pell City.
Pell City, who was 7-0, only behind 7 to Oxford at halftime.
Yeah.
Next Friday night, we're going to work on this for the next week. Next Friday night here on After the Game, Coach Short is going to find what a booger is. May not be what you think, but he's going to find that.
It's kind of like Halloween. We're getting close to Halloween.
We are doing that.
Boogers and goblins running around.
If y'all could hear the room, like over here, like the production room, if you could hear the cackles coming out of this room right now.
3.
All right.
I've always used that, boogers.
I love you, Coach. I do.
I can't wait to get to our Red Threads. This is going to be, pay attention, folks, because our Red Threads Stay Put preview box is going to be pretty good when we go to break here in just a moment. Red Threads on the Square in Jacksonville, powered by O-Brand Red Threads. Go get some Jack State merchandise. They won tonight over Kennesaw State, 63-24 over in the Atlanta metro area. And if you go to a Jack State game, they got a lot of midweek games coming up. And you need to go buy Red Threads on the Square in Jacksonville and check them out. We'll be back with more of After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission in just a moment.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Johnson's Giant Food, 5 locations to serve you in Etowah and Calhoun counties. We are in Coldwater, Jacksonville, also locations in downtown Gadsden, East Gadsden, and in Attala. Let me tell you, they are the answer to your football tailgating and food needs. They've got the great chicken fingers, the chicken salad. Their deli is phenomenal. Tailgate food on Saturdays. You order that before the big game. We've got Alabama and Auburn, big SEC games tomorrow. Order that. Go to the Johnson's Hot Deli, open daily with a full hot bar as well. Johnson's Giant Food bringing you our concession stand of the week. Back on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, Jon Holder, Coach Michael Short, and also Chad Barnett. We're going to take you to our game of the week, our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance game of the week. Going into this, on paper, this was a battle of undefeateds. Talking about possibly this might be the region championship game between Piedmont and the Locust Fork Hornets up at the Field of Champions in Piedmont. But guys, talking about, we're having a lot of fun here tonight, obviously.
Yes.
But I don't think we're having any more fun than the Piedmont Bulldogs had tonight. They, you know, Gene Stallings always said, one of my favorite quotes is, the fun is in the winning. And the Piedmont Bulldogs are, again, doing a lot of winning this year after a losing season last year. Yeah. They're back undefeated. And tonight, as impressive of a victory, I think, as Piedmont's had ever, considering the circumstances, going in that game tonight with Locust Fork.
We saw some shades of this last year. I know that you said they finished with a losing record last year, but they found a way to make it to the playoffs. They found a way to gut that out last year. They found a way to be a winning team in some essence last year. And that carried over to this year. Of course, you get Raleigh Pinto back healthy, but this would be the game that kind of defined the season. After the win against Cherokee County, this is the one that everybody looked forward to. Locust Fork rolling into the Field of Champions tonight for the big showdown between the two undefeated schools. How would Dylan Embry and his squad face off against the Bulldogs? Let's go to the highlights and see how this checked out. Beautiful night sky in Piedmont, Alabama. That's good American stuff right there. Piedmont running through the Spirit line and Locust Fork on offense first. This guy came in with a ton of fanfare. Everybody want to know what they would do against him. Dylan Embry would be sacked a lot tonight. Piedmont's defense was the difference in this game, and some really explosive plays as well. This punt to Raleigh Pinto. And Coach, I was talking to you about it in the break. He never looks like he's fully running 100%. He always looks like he's just got a long stride. He's calculated, but man, can he go. Raleigh Pinto, weaving his way through all of the green and white jerseys. He takes it to the house for a touchdown. What a massive play. There were flags down on this play, but it got picked up. He goes to the end zone. They're up 7-0. Locust Fork punts to him. Cole Wilson then hands off to Ish Bethel for a 23-yard run. Piedmont is running on offense, and Jonathan Miller, because you take over for a Steve Smith, you follow the guy. Last year they struggled a bit. Like you said, they picked it up at the end, made it to the playoffs. But this year, man, he's got them rolling again. Locust Fork back on offense this time. Dino, he's going to throw the pass to Brian Dempsey, and it's going to be picked off, by Benjamin Dempsey. He's going to return it for 16 yards. Bulldogs back on the offensive side of the ball. More Bulldog offense as we go to later in the contest. Cole, pass quickly to Ish Bethel. And man, you talk about some long strides. He's got some long strides just short of the end zone. It gets it down to the 1-yard line. Next play, they got some long striders and they got some dogs. And Gunn is a dog. Big old tank gets in there for a 5-yard touchdown run. Piedmont is up, and they are starting to take control of this one at home. More offense. Cole's going to drop back to pass on this one, and it's going to be a long one. And you want to talk about wide open. That's Caden Cardelli. Long touchdown pass for the Bulldogs, and they're up 21-0 at this point. And I tell you, it was all Bulldogs tonight as they have an impressive win over the undefeated Hokes Bluff squad tonight.
And as we mentioned, Coach Short there for the entire game, including the post game. So we'll take you back out to the Field of Champions. Coach Michael Short with Coach Jonathan Miller and some of the Bulldog players in the post game. Working out. We'll take you out there in just a moment. I think you got 4
Good
players.
evening. This is Coach Short from the Field of Champions in Piedmont, Alabama. Tonight, the Piedmont Bulldogs had a big region victory over Locust Fork. Coach, could you tell us who all we got here tonight?
All right, we got Cole Wilson, our quarterback, Hayes Gunn, our running back, Raleigh Pinto, Ishmael Bethel, wide receivers.
Coach, I've seen you play 3 times already this year, and to me, this was probably one of your most complete games that you played on offense, defense, and your kicking game. And again, you opened up the ball game with a big play.
Yeah, I tell you what, we wanted to get off to a fast start. We knew they'd probably get the ball first to try to build some momentum and get some momentum on their side. And to get a 3-and-out and then have the big kick return, it's kind of set the tone for the rest of the night.
I think probably, and you may have seen them, but the 3 games I've seen, this may be the most physical game you played, and it was probably what set the tone for the night.
Well, I think the best thing that could have happened to us defensively is second quarter against B.B. Comer last week. We gave up a couple of scores to their quarterback, who's elusive, kind of like Dino is, and he made us look unathletic a couple drives. So we just hammered that in their heads all week. I think our defense was ready to play for sure, and just took it as a big challenge this week.
And I think, again, your offensive line played well again tonight. You can't go anywhere without those offensive and defensive linemen.
There's no doubt. They're getting better each and every week. We're super proud of their progress. It's a high-character group that just comes to work every day and gets better.
Real quickly, I'm just going to come along to each 4 of you. Give me an idea how practice went this week and just what this game means for y'all, another big regional ball game.
Well, we came into practice this week. Everybody was focused, practiced hard, and it showed tonight. This is a big win for us because Locust Fork's one of the better teams in our region, and I think it set a good statement for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the intensity at practice was really good, and offensive line really showed up at practice and helped us, and defense was rock solid.
Oh yeah, all practice we were locked in, and Coach Miller preached us to just lock in and just stay focused all week. And shout out to the defense; they shut Locust Fork out.
Yeah, we practiced hard at practice, and we just got better each and every day. And we preach not to be stagnant every day, and just get better and focus on just
Well, again, congratulations, Coach. Congratulations, player, on a big region ball game. It is from the night, from the Field of Champions. The Piedmont Bulldogs were victorious.
Coach Short, great job up there at Piedmont. Always good I love interviewing those players, getting to see those players, and you see them with their helmets on and things like that, and then to see them take it off and realize, hey, these are young men, and just kind of just to see their personalities and those kind of things. Just a great job up there tonight at Piedmont with Coach Miller and those players from Piedmont.
Yeah, we had a lot of media there tonight, so he had to do 3 other interviews before he got to me. I mean, I fought to get there first. It just didn't happen. And to get to talk to those players, but actually before they get put on, on air, and just to listen to them and talk about practice, and they pretty much said, "Hey, Coach, we knew it was going to be like this. We just felt that way."
Piedmont big winners tonight, 61-14 over the Locust Fork Hornets at the Field of Champions. Time for our final extra point of the night, presented by Randy Wood, State Representative out of District 36. Here's something that is of interest to East Alabama. Elba senior running back Alvin Henderson is only 608 yards away, this was before tonight, from passing former Alexandria running back Matt Campbell to become the state's all-time leading rusher. He's held that since 1997. Henderson's career rushing total is now 9,232 yards, which ranks 4th all-time. Campbell is the AHSAA's all-time leader with 9,839 yards from 1992 to 1997. Henderson is currently the nation's leading rusher, and he has a chance to become the first player in state history to rush for 10,000 career yards.
I understand that, and that would be great. But people out there from Alexandria, just remember that Matt Campbell's 8th grade year statistics don't count.
Did not count.
And he played.
I was thinking that,
NFHS does not count, and he had about 1,000 yards, as I remember, as an 8th grader.
About 200 against us.
When we come back, we're going to wrap up. We've got 2 more regions to look at, and we're going to name this week's Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week next.
Wow, these guys are everywhere.
I'm telling you. Hey, you remember when we talked about doing some upgrades to the bathrooms and the floors?
I do.
Well, I think it's about time we check in to do it.
I know exactly who to call. They're everywhere.
From your kitchen, bathroom, living room, fireplace, or anything in between, even the golf course, Ted's is everywhere. Call today for your free in-home estimate.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch.
The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
McClellan Sports and Outdoors, locally owned and operated since 2008. We offer embroidery, sublimation, and screen printing, and we stock a large selection of team equipment. We have a large showroom with tons of gear and shoes to get you and your family ready for your next activity. Adidas, Under Armour, Maui Gym, Evo Shield, Wilson, and more. We are located in the heart of Calhoun County, here to serve our region with all your athletic needs.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Exciting things happening at Jacksonville State University. New state-of-the-art facilities, modernized buildings, upgraded amenities. Jack State is creating a dynamic environment that enhances both learning and living, from cutting-edge academic spaces to vibrant student hubs. Every aspect of the campus designed to support student success and well-being. There has never been a better time to be a Gamecock. Come see the growth for yourself at Jacksonville State University, the friendliest campus in the South. Schedule your visit at jsu.edu/visit. Congratulations to the Gamecocks tonight. Winners on a Friday night football at Kennesaw State, 63-24. Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett, and I'm Jon Holder with you on this football Friday night. We're going to go back to regions one more time. It's our region rundown presented by Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden, Class 2A now. Coosa Christian, there you go. There's the Conquerors. Everybody else literally is playing for second, third, and fourth in that region. Coosa at the top, beat Cleveland tonight. You've got the haves and the have-nots, and Coosa's a big have. West End having a tough season at 0-7, really the only other team in our region here. And then there's a log jam. It could literally be anybody for those next three spots there behind Coosa Christian. And then we go and look at Class 2A, the other region right next door, which is 2A Region 7. Pisgah won again tonight. They remain undefeated at 7-0. We haven't talked about this a lot. Huge win for Pleasant Valley tonight. They were down 19-12 for most of the second half, as I understand it, to Cedar Bluff. They score, and I'm assuming they went for two, and beat Cedar Bluff 20-19. Pleasant Valley now has a head-to-head on both Cedar Bluff and Sandrock. They beat North Sand Mountain. I think they will. I think Pleasant Valley is going to host a playoff game.
That's amazing.
He going for two? That means he's thinking, look, we're going for a home field advantage. That's what he was thinking all the way, especially on the road.
They were home tonight.
They're home tonight. Okay, that's right, because they were home.
Can't be happier for that program.
That was a one-point win tonight for Pleasant Valley. You know who else had a one-point win tonight? Well, we're going to talk about next. Our Tez Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. This was a team that was down in the fourth quarter, about halfway through the fourth quarter, by 2 touchdowns to a state-ranked undefeated team, and they brought it all the way back via special teams and scored with 24 seconds to win in the game. Congratulations to the Alexandria Valley Cubs. This week's Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. We have the Anniston Orthopedic Score Shirts, the Ted's T-shirts, the Awards to Remember Tough Guy Trophy. All of that coming to Coach Todd Ginn and the Alexandria Valley Cubs, our Ted's Floors and Beyond High School Football Alabama After the Game Team of the Week. That's going to wrap it up. We'll see you right back here next Friday night at 10 p.m. Have a blessed weekend.